presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.
Rebound Thornton, Dogs with time, up ahead to Jurisic, long 30-footer. Oh, yeah!
The Dogs play here.
Scoop up and in, good! What a play! Finds Thornton, here comes the monster dog, up on the left hand. Oh, my goodness! Another block, eat that weak stuff out of here. Here's Gage for a three. Yeah! That one's good, baby! And the clock hits 0, and the Dogs win it.
This is the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Welcome to the Bulldog Courtside Show. Today's pregame coverage of Georgia basketball is brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Contact them at gfb.org. Kroger, right store, right price. And by Regions Bank, a proud sponsor of the University of Georgia and the official bank of the SEC. Now, along with Chuck Dabble, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
Hi again, everyone. Sold-out crowd on hand here in Athens, Georgia tonight for the 19-9 Georgia Bulldogs and the undefeated and top-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. As the Dogs have played better this season, this game has become bigger and bigger in the eyes of Georgia fans. The Bulldogs have won 3 straight coming into tonight and continue to work on their NCAA tournament resume. The Wildcats are SEC regular season champs again. Their 46th title was secured last Saturday with a win over Arkansas. Kentucky comes in 29-0 and a unanimous number 1 selection. Georgia, by the way, has never beaten a number 1 ranked team. The Dogs' opportunity to end that streak is tonight. At home in front of 10,000 plus. It's Georgia and Kentucky, and we've got it for you next right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Back at Sold Out Stegman Coliseum, along with our usual crew tonight, Chuck Dowdle, our producer-engineer Tony Schiavone, and our network studio host Cabell Philpott. Scott Howard with you again. And Chuck, a completely different vibe in this building tonight. At any other point this season, I mean, this has been going on now. This electricity in the building has been going on for 2 or 3 hours now.
Oh, no doubt. It's a great build-up. I drove by the Coliseum this morning about 11:30. Students were lined up getting the wristbands so they didn't have to wait outside this evening, assured themselves of getting in, and then they were here early. And, Scott, you know what that is?
That's you tapping on your mic.
No, that's opportunity knocking, buddy.
Okay.
That's opportunity knocking for these Georgia Bulldogs. And believe me, right now the Georgia Bulldogs are the envy of every college basketball team in the nation. And the reason is because Georgia's got the opportunity tonight to do what no other team in the nation has the opportunity to do tonight. And that's knock off top-ranked and undefeated Kentucky, do something that hasn't been done. Can the Dogs do it? Well, we'll see here in a short few hours. But certainly, here's where I would think that that you would look at Georgia and say, hey, maybe. And that is, one, I liken Kentucky to the way Mike Tyson was when he was heavyweight champ. A lot of fighters climbed through the ropes. They were beaten already because they didn't think they could win. They were scared to death of him. I think Georgia knows they played a great game, a great second half against these Wildcats in Lexington without Marcus Thornton, without Juwan Parker. Heck, they did it without me.
And that was the key loss right there.
Let me tell you. And you know what? And they played a great second. So I don't think they're going to come into this one scared of the Kentucky Wildcats. That, I think, will work to Georgia's advantage. Now you've got to take advantage of the opportunity that's being presented to you this evening. You've got to, protect the basketball, make the most of your shots, and figure out a way to slow down what is without question a juggernaut. I mean, people are already looking at this Kentucky team and talking about, hey, can they or will they run the entire table right through the NCAA tournament? And so far, I always say, like the champ, you stay with him till somebody beats him. Dogs have that chance tonight.
The magnitude of this game forced Mark Fox to do something that he hasn't done this season, and probably the lateness of the game, too. It's a home game. These guys had class today. They had a regular schedule. They had an early shoot-around, but he sequestered the team at a location here on campus so they could get away, get off their feet a little bit, rest, get away from, these 2,000 or 3,000 students that are patting them on the back and talking about the game and getting all that stuff in their head. They had an opportunity to kind of get away this afternoon, and he's never done that before.
Well, one thing I do know he wants tonight, and that's focus. This team, without question, and how many times has Mark Fox said to you this year, I didn't like the focus that we had at practice. I didn't like the focus we had coming in. When this team is focused, and that's on the other end too, he has mentioned several times after big wins, we came into this game focused. He mentioned that after the Alabama victory in Tuscaloosa. He mentioned it last week after the win in Oxford over Ole Miss, that the team showed up with a focus and a determination. And that's what they're going to have here at home tonight against this very strong, very talented, and well-coached Kentucky team.
Georgia won its last game over Missouri by a season best, 24 points. Kentucky has won its last 5 games by an average of 24 points. Georgia and Kentucky are coming up, and our countdown to tip-off will continue as we join Cabell Philpott in our IMG Network studios next here on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Courtside Show. Now, scores and highlights from around college basketball. Let's go inside the IMG Network studios. Here's Cabell Philpott.
The Dogs get a shot at the nation's best tonight as the Wildcats visiting Stegman. Tip-off has been pushed back to around 10 past the hour, they're telling us. We'll bring you all the play-by-play action once the ball is in the air. Dogs and Cats, the marquee game on the slate tonight. But 3 other conference games taking place this evening. A big one for Dogs fans checking out those SEC standings in advance of next week's conference tournament in Nashville. Ole Miss visiting Alabama just a couple of weeks ago. Rebs looked to be a shoo-in to finish in the top 4, but they've lost their last 2. And a loss tonight would be devastating to the Rebs' hopes of a double bye in Nashville. This evening, Ole Miss having trouble containing Tide senior guard Levi Randolph early. He had 18 points just a few minutes ago, but the boys from Oxford making a rally. David Kellum on the Ole Miss IMG Sports Network. Ladarius White hitting that 3 before the halftime buzzer brought the Rebs within 3 at the break. White has 4 threes in the game. But right now, the Rebs have made a massive push down the stretch. 6:06 to go in this ball game. The score now 59-52. Ole Miss in control again with 6 minutes to go. The Tide just scoring a breakaway jam to get the house rocking. But again, the Rebs in control at this point, 59-52 on the road. Later on this evening, a couple other conference contests getting going at 9 o'clock. Florida trying desperately to stay out of the dreaded bottom 4 as Texas A&M visiting the O-Dome. Aggies currently securely in the 3-hole in the conference standing. So if that all holds up, the Aggies will get the double bye. And if Florida keeps loses the game tonight, they could fall into that Final 4. What a major flip-flop that would be from last year, Billy Donovan's squad in the bottom 4 if they lose enough games down the stretch. Finally, a couple of teams playing for pride as Auburn is at Missouri. The 2 Tigers already guaranteed to play on Wednesday evening in Nashville. Top 25 action tonight. 19th ranked North Carolina on the road at Georgia Tech. Brandon Gauld on the Georgia Tech IMG Sports Network with the call. 19th ranked Tar Heels 5 of 17 from beyond the arc. A 76-48 advantage with 1:42 to go in the ball game. Despite out-rebounding the Tar Heels, the Georgia Tech has missed 37 shots on the evening. 10th ranked Maryland on the road at Rutgers. It's a 53-47 advantage for the Terps. 2:28 to go in that ball game. Number 21 Butler in a fight at home tonight against Georgetown. Hoya is up 49-47, 4:40 to go in the second half. As we close out the night tonight, 9 o'clock, a few tips in the top 25. Another big game. 9th ranked Kansas, number 20 West Virginia. That game in the fog tonight. And number 4 Villanova on the road at Creighton at 9:15. As we count you down to tip-off, top-ranked Kentucky in Athens tonight. The house will be rocking for sure. We'll get head coach Mark Fox's thoughts coming up next right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG.
You're listening to Georgia basketball.
Drives left behind the back, down the lane, scoop up and in, good!
Kick out, Gaines for three, here it comes, they're down!
Now time for your all-access trip inside the Dogs' locker room and a visit with UGA head coach Mark Fox.
Welcome back to Athens, Stegman Coliseum. Georgia basketball tonight as the Bulldogs take on the Kentucky Wildcats. It's time for the Mark Fox pregame show. I'm Scott Howard here with the coach. And Mark, it's certainly a different feeling when the number one team comes to town, and the number one team happens to be a conference game and a rival in Kentucky. So this is a big matchup. A lot of fun tonight for the Bulldogs.
Well, this is a great opportunity. I mean, how fortunate are we to have one of the great teams in recent history of college basketball in our building, undefeated, ranked number one, and for us to have a chance to play them it's a great opportunity, and hopefully we'll make the most of it.
And the fact that Georgia's having a very good season and is playing very well right now certainly amplifies tonight's game and puts a little extra magnitude on it.
Well, what I think is just terrific is that people may not be picking us to win, but there sure are a lot of people that think we can win. And what's most important is that the 14 guys in that locker room think we can win. But the fact that we have such an event, here late in the year, and that the people feel we have a chance. I think that's just it's exciting, and we're glad that there's excitement in March about Georgia basketball.
What did you see from our team? And I know it was a different group that you'll have out there tonight because everybody wasn't healthy. But what did you see from our guys in the first meeting up in Lexington?
I felt like that we did not have Marcus, and we did not have Kenny Paulgino. We didn't have Jawan, and I felt in the first half we kind of felt sorry for ourselves, and we just come off a loss at South Carolina, and we knew we were shorthanded, and I really challenged our guys at halftime up there, and I felt like in the second half we decided to start competing again, and we gave ourselves a chance to win once we did that. Kentucky's a much better basketball team today than they were a month ago. But if we'll compete from the start and play through the adversities of the game, hopefully we can give ourselves a chance to win here, late in the game again.
Do you feel like Georgia is a better basketball team than we were a month ago as well?
Oh, I think we're a better basketball team. I think that we're obviously a healthier basketball team. Kentucky's probably made a little bit more progress just because they've had all their pieces together. They didn't have Lyles in that game, but they haven't had the significant losses in games that we've had. But we have made progress, and we're better, and we're finally getting healthy, and we're deeper, and so hopefully we'll play well, and we want to give ourselves a chance to win this game, and we're going to need everybody's help to do it. But they're a great basketball team.
Jay Billis joined us on your call-in show last night and pointed out the fact that Kentucky is bigger than every NBA team except for the Portland Trail Blazers. How do you overcome that size?
Well, threes are worth more than twos, and we're going to have to make some three-point shots. We're going to have to spread the floor, open the basket, and we know that they have great length and they protect the basket very well. That doesn't mean we can't go inside. We're going to have to attack the rim and play in the paint some, and hope that Marcus and Charles can get some stuff done at the rim and maybe draw some fouls. But we're also going to have to make some three-point shots to win because they are extremely long, and that's a great advantage that they have.
What do you do offensively to beat their defense? Regardless of whether it's at the rim or out on the perimeter playing man-to-man, what do you need to do?
We need to help each other. We need to space the floor. We need to make sure that when we run offense, whatever set we run, and we've got, probably 9 or 10 things that we think we like that we can run in the game, but we need to run them well, and we need to space the floor, screen bodies, not areas, and try and create small advantages. And when you get that small advantage and an opportunity to score, we gotta have the courage to make and finish the play.
Well, this is a game that, at least in the arena right now, it's a tournament-like atmosphere. So you guys, good luck and have some fun out there.
It will be fun, and I hope that at the end of the night that everybody's proud of the effort we gave, and that the effort that we're about to give will be good enough to win.
All right, that's Coach Mark Fox. We'll talk with him after the game. We'll give you the starting lineups for the Bulldogs and the Wildcats next, right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG.
Ahead to Jurisic, long 30-footer. Oh, yeah!
The Dogs play here.
Scoop up and in. Boom! What a play! Finds Thornton. Here comes the monster dog. Up on the left hand. Oh, my goodness. Another block. Get that weak stuff out of here. Here's Gage for a three. Yeah! That one's good, baby. And the clock hits 0, and the Dogs win it.
This is the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Today's coverage of Dogs basketball is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. By Chevron. Every day your car takes care of you. Take care of it. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car. Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. BB&T, sharing knowledge for a brighter direction. Member FDIC. And by Georgia Power. Proud to power the Georgia Bulldogs. Now to courtside. Along with Chuck Dowdle, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Scott Howard.
Back here at Stegman Coliseum, the place is jam-packed, and right now on the floor, our 3 seniors are being honored and recognized prior to tip-off with Kentucky. Marcus Thornton, Nimi Jurisic, and Taylor Eccles, and all 3 of those guys will be in the starting lineup when we get going here in just a few moments. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Chuck, nice moment for those guys, those 3 seniors. A lot of hard work going into that moment right there. Did
you see the look on Marcus Thornton's face? That was just great. Waving to the crowd, big ovation. Same for Nimi, same for Taylor. This is what Georgia basketball is about. This kind of atmosphere, this is what we need here in this program, and it's getting there. You can see it building game by game, year by year, and that's why, a game like this, boy, just when you've got the whole nation focused on Athens, Georgia, and Stegman Coliseum for a college basketball game, that's a good thing.
All the parents were there, and Nimi Jurisic's parents, who were here for Saturday's game against Missouri, making the trip for the first time to see him play in America, all the way from Montenegro. So that's quite a commitment.
Yeah, that's a trip. No, that's an overnight stay. And no doubt about
yeah, or 2.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But this is just great to see. Charles Barkley here tonight. Bill Belichick here tonight. How about that, huh? You got the Patriots coach here. You got one of the all-time SEC greats and Chuck here. And oh, yeah. See,
now, they're showing on the video board here, I think Barkley
he lost a bet to Ernie.
One of the NBA
Johnson
pregame shows, he had to sing the Georgia fight song.
And you got to love that.
So they're showing that right now as the 2 teams are warming up. The crowd is standing here. We'll go ahead and give you the BB time. Here's an Auburn guy singing the Georgia fight song,
and not well either.
And now they're showing Charles here in the arena.
I'm not sure which is worse, his golf swing or his singing.
That's a pretty good moment, Charles. He's having a laugh.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He really is just a terrific guy and a great talent. And he was a great basketball player, and just glad that, he got a good sense of humor about himself. Let's get back to this game, though, Scott. The last 12 games that Kentucky and Georgia have played here at Stegman, Dogs have won 5. They've won 5 out of the 12 against one of the great programs in the history of college basketball in Kentucky. But they've won 5 of the last 12 that have been played here at Stegman. And when this game tips off tonight, you know what that'll mean. Exactly nothing. Exactly nothing, because this is a different Kentucky team. This is a different Georgia team. But what the Dogs do know is that they're playing well right now. Kentucky's playing well. Georgia's got an opportunity tonight that's being presented to them to really make a statement to the entire nation about where Georgia basketball is and where it deserves to be. This game tonight, you can punch your ticket right here to the big dance.
Well, let's squeeze in your BB&T starting lineups. BB&T, sharing knowledge for a brighter direction, member FDIC. Georgia at 19-9 will start their three seniors: Marcus Thornton, Emmy Jurisic, and Taylor Eccles tonight. Kenny Gaines and Charles Mann will join them in the starting five. Number 1 ranked Kentucky tonight. They'll start the Harrison twins as usual, and then that giant front line that goes 6'10", 6'11", and 7 foot. Trey Lyles, he's the short one in the bunch, the 6'10 freshman. Karl Anthony Towns at 6'11", and Willie Cauley-Stein, the 7-footer. Georgia and Kentucky are coming up. Sold-out crowd at Stegman Coliseum. We're coming back for the tip after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowdle, Tony Schiavone back in Athens as we anticipate the tip-off here in just a few moments. They pushed our start time back about 5 minutes. TV did, as the lights go out here at Stegman Coliseum. That's our cue to bring you the Ford keys to the game. Dog fans, on game day, whether it's on the court or on the road, the best rise to the top in a smart and fuel-efficient Ford. See your local Ford dealer today. And Chuck's got our keys to the game.
All right, Scott, first off, fast start for the Dogs. It's imperative tonight. Look, it's always important because Georgia seems to play best when it comes out of the gate strong. Tonight, it's going to be imperative because of the energy in this building. You let Kentucky quiet this crowd, you're going to sap the energy right out of here. Turnovers for the Dogs tonight have to be under 9 because every possession will have added importance. Kentucky leads the league in scoring defense. Don't help them by throwing away good opportunities to score. So really hold down the turnovers tonight, protect the basketball. And finally, you heard Coach Fox talking about their length and their size inside. Well, what we're going to have to do, at least from a defensive standpoint, is deny those entry passes. They are huge inside. They're not just big. They're 6'10", 6'11", and 7 feet. Thank goodness they don't have a fourth insider. He'd be 7'1". But do not let the passes get inside and then try to move those big guys off their comfort spots. Every big guy has a place down low where he likes to get the basketball there. So you want to move them off those spots and keep them from getting those entry passes there. Look, this is going to be a great game tonight, Scott. I can't wait to see how this one turns out. The college basketball world has kind of been focusing on Kentucky coming to Athens for a little over a month now. You had ESPN and others saying, Kentucky's best chance to lose might be in Athens against Georgia. Well, we're about to see if that's the case.
Our officials tonight: Pat Adams, Jim Burr, Doug Sermons. Good reputations for all of those officials. First meeting between these two teams, Georgia and Kentucky, on February 3rd. Cats won it 69-58. Chuck, you mentioned turnovers in your keys to the game. Well, Georgia was plus 12 on the board against Kentucky, the top rebounding team in the Southeastern Conference. Plus 12 against these guys, but minus 9 in the turnover category.
Can't have
and that turned out to be a major factor in the game.
Cannot have that. You've got to take advantage. Listen, they're leading the league in 21 areas that the SEC tracks in college basketball. Kentucky is number 1 in 10 of them. One of them scoring defense. So you can't be helping them, by giving away easy possessions that would be good scoring opportunities for you.
Dogs in their home white uniforms with Gaines and Eccles and Mann, Thornton and Jurisic. Kentucky in their road blues with Towns and the Harrison twins, Cauley-Stein and Lyles, who we did not see in Lexington, and they did not see Thornton in Kentucky either. Here's the toss and the tip. It's controlled by Towns and the Cats, and we are underway in Athens, Georgia. Kentucky with the basketball. Dogs open up in a man-to-man defense. Here's Cauley-Stein, dribbles it once in the circle. Goes left to Lyles. He bumps with Mann to the baseline. And a spin move to the basket. The lay-in is good. And Kentucky with the first points of the contest. And they'll come with full court pressure now. Eccles in the backcourt. Goes to Mann. Harrison is on him. That's Andrew Harrison guarding Mann as he gets it into the front court. Cats.
Oh, Dogs handle that well.
Here's Eccles, handoff on the left wing to Gaines. Drives across the top of the key, down the right edge of the lane. They move the ball around. 16 to shoot. Mann has it now. Left-hand dribble. Beats Thornton wide open. Pump fake, and he gets a foul on Cauley Stein. He had it open for a moment. By the time he looked up, he pump fake, waiting for the block to come. And then Cauley Stein came, and he was able to draw a foul.
Yeah, he'll get the foul and shoot, too, but you're exactly right, Scott. If he'd have just taken the pass and gone straight up, he was wide open for a flush.
That may be a good thing, though, to get a foul early on Willie Cauley Stein. Thornton to the foul line. Clock stops with 19-14.
I'll tell you if it's good here in a second.
Free throw is up and in.
We're halfway to good.
Thornton on the year, 65% from the line, 77 now out of 118. He was 4 for 4 from the stripe against Missouri. The senior misses the second one. Lyles rebounds. 2-1 our score. Students are rocking and rolling. They officially named them the Dog Pound earlier today. Who would have thought all this time without a name, and they come up with a Dog Pound? Kentucky inside, outside. They go to Harrison. He drives to the foul line, throws up a runner. That's no good. Towns fighting for the rebound, knocking it off the glass and tapping it again. And the Dogs get the rebound with
Taylor Eccles, huh? Taylor Eccles coming out of there with it.
Towns just all arms and elbows, just reaching all over Marcus Thornton to tap that rebound. Now he swipes at the ball as Thornton holds it for Georgia. Cats with a 2-1 lead. Eccles off a curl for 3. No good, off the rim. Rebound is knocked out of bounds by Kentucky. Jurisic had position, and I think it was Cauley Stein kind of went over him and knocked it out of bounds into their bench.
Yeah, Cauley Stein, he prefers that call to the one that should have been made.
Dogs will inbound. They'll get a fresh 35 on the clock. Eccles to inbound next to the Kentucky bench. He throws it in rear court to Charles Mann. He's guarded by Andrew Harrison. Flip it to Eccles on the left wing. Now back to Mann. He'll settle up between the circles. Skip it to Thornton at the elbow or just above it on the right side. Pivots now. He works against Town. Puts it on the floor. And then throws it away on the wing. Tried to go to Mann, and the pass was out of Charles's reach on the bounce. And the Dogs turn it over.
Marcus kind of panicked. He turned to make his move, and it was defended nicely, and then he kind of panicked with the basketball. Going to have to calm down, settle down, play your game.
Cats with a 2-1 lead. Towns holds it high, dumps it inside to Lyles. Turn, fade, jumper won't go. Back rim, rebound, picked up by the Dogs. Mann down the middle of the floor. Charles, right side to Gaines for a 3. Short side iron rebound. Lyles for Kentucky. If we hit one of those threes, this place is going to erupt. They try a long alley-oop lob to Cauley Stein off his fingertips, hits the rim and the backboard, and the Dogs get the rebound. They tried a 30-foot alley-oop on the run and missed it.
Terrible alley-oop.
2-1, Kentucky leads. Georgia looking for its first field goal. And there it is with Nemi Jurisic on a backdoor feed and a reverse lay-in. The Montenegrin was wide open.
My goodness, how open was that?
And there's our first lead on Kentucky this season. We trailed wire to wire in Lexington. Harrison answers quickly. A little fancy dribbling. He scores in close range in the paint. A jump shot by Harrison. That was Andrew Harrison. Puts Kentucky back in front 4-3. Andrew had a huge game against the Dogs in Lexington. In fact, his season high of 23 points happened in that ball game. Here's Thornton for Georgia on the right baseline. Into the lane. Steps back, shoots the 2, no good. The rebound is loose. Gaines almost raced to it and got it in heavy blue traffic. Kentucky basketball. Harrison runs baseline, reverse lay-in. Wow. That was the other one. That was Aaron Harrison. Nice spin reverse lay-in. Just spun that ball up off the glass on the run and scored it to make it 6-3. Dogs ball down on the left end of the floor. Mann with a dribble, skips over to Jurisic. He's guarded by Harrison. He spins to the baseline, and there's a foul on the play, says Jim Burr. They get Aaron Harrison with a little too much contact, and of course, he claims he didn't make the foul.
All right, we're going to get JJ in and Yante Maton in the game.
And
Mark
Gino's
Fox
been down there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, Mark Fox working his bench here.
We're going to get Jurisic shooting free throws first. Nemi at the line for his first time tonight. Knocks it down. Clean free throw by the 6'8 senior from Montenegro. 71% on the year. 2 for 2 in the last game against Missouri, and makes his first one tonight as Eccles and Mann and Thornton come out for Georgia. And as Chuck said, Frazier, Maton, and Gino check in. Nimme, second free throw, short, front iron, no good. So we're 2 for 4 from the line tonight. That's got to change. At least I hope it does. 16-10 on the clock, early in the contest. Kentucky with a 6-4 lead. Harrison, Andrew out on the right side, over to Aaron, his brother, Harrison. Now the bearded Harrison, he's going to go to the basket, leaves it short, and the Dogs pluck it out of the air with Gino to Frazier up the far sideline. JJ still wearing that mask to protect his face. Nimme, wide open three. No good off the front rim. Towns got the rebound in front of Maton. To Andrew Harrison in the front court, over to Aaron. He's going to drive in from three-point land and flip it up. He will be fouled on the drive by Gino, I believe.
Yeah, you are right.
And that'll get us into a timeout. 15:39 remaining in half number 1. It's Kentucky leading Georgia early, 6-4. And we'll come back right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Every day your car does a lot for you. Return the favor and avoid low-quality gasoline. Minimize engine deposits and protect performance with the gas that cleans. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car. Georgia trails early, 6-4. The Dogs 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 on threes, 2 for 4 from the foul line. Kentucky 3 for 7 early. They haven't taken a three-pointer or a free throw yet as the Dogs play a number 1 ranked team for the 16th time since the AP poll was established in 1949, and Georgia 0-15 against those number 1s all time. 10th time in school history they played Kentucky when the Wildcats are ranked number 1.
So you're telling me we're due?
There is a chance. We've also lost the number 1s when Arkansas was number 1 twice, Indiana twice, North Carolina once, and Florida once. Our closest game to beating a number 1 team came against North Carolina here in Athens in 97 when they beat us 82-80 in overtime under Ron Jersa was the head coach then. 6-4, Cats lead. They've got the ball. Kentucky with 22 on the clock. They go to Cauley Stein, matched up with Jurisic. Jump hook, left hand won't go. Rebound, Maton. Outlet to Frazier. JJ zips into the front court. Goes to Gaines. He started to rise up and shoot a three, but he kept his feet firmly planted on the floor. Dogs working around. Kentucky almost gets a steal. Gaines with a little tricky dribbling. Goes down to Jurisic on the right baseline. Nice spin move, but Cauley Stein recovers. Jurisic deep under the basket. Throws it up on a pump fake, and he got a foul. We got one of their big guys in the air. Got the foul. And that foul going to be on Karl Anthony Towns. That's his first and the team's third.
Scott, I got to tell you, this is one of the areas that I did not think Georgia would be attacking tonight. But you know what? Mark Fox told you in the pregame, says we got to find a way still to get the ball inside, see if we can't get some of their big guys in foul trouble. And Georgia has started that early on.
And now you got to make them. That's the thing. Jurisic free throw up and in, good. 6-5. Dogs trail by a point. Kentucky subs in with some more of their freshman All-Americans. Devin Booker, McDonald's All-American, comes in. Tyler Eulis, McDonald's All-American. He comes in at one guard position. Lyles stays on the floor. He's a McDonald's All-American. Need I say more? Free throw is good by Jurisic. He makes a pair and 3 of 4 and goes out of the ball game. Thornton back in for the Dogs. 6-6, we're tied. 14:58 showing on the clock here in half 1. Booker feeds it down low. They've got Dakari Johnson in the game as well. He's a 7-footer. Eulis on the dribble for the Cats. They skip it to Marcus Lee at 6'9". He's matched up with Maton. Jump hook with the left hand off the iron. No good. Rebound will go in Georgia's favor. Cats tried to save it over the baseline, left side, but Lee couldn't get a hand on it.
I got to tell you what Yonte Maton did that time. He just pushed that guy out of his comfort zone, got him too far away from the basket where he liked to put that little soft hook shot up.
Maton skips it into Frazier on the inbounds. Eulis presses Frazier. Frazier in the front court now, goes to Gino. Left corner to Man. Man up the wing, now across the top of the key. Dribbles right hand, now left, almost stumbles. Maintains his balance, gives the ball to Kenny Paul Gino. Reverse it to Man on the left side. 15 to shoot for the Dogs. We're tied at 6. 14-15 on the clock, first half. Man with the ball, kills the dribble. Thornton's open in the corner. Here comes the three. That's short by Marcus. Bounces up twice off the rim. Nobody there to rebound for the Dogs. Stolen by Frazier. Oh, he saved. Oh, no.
They say
He jumped in the air, tried to save it. He threw it right to man. It was a beautiful save, but he stepped on the sideline out of bounds, said Jim Burr.
Boy, but JJ, great hustle on defense to pick that pass off.
It was in the front court. The Cats will inbound right in front of our broadcast site. 14:05 to go in the first half. We're knotted at 6. Doug Sermons, Jim Burr. They were going to reset the clock, put 31 on it. Doug Sermons, Jim Burr, Pat Adams, the officials, they discuss it now. They've put 32 on the shot clock. Doug Sermons said 31 to begin with. They put 32, and now they move it to 31, so we're all set. Cats inbound. They work in the front court. Eulis, right side to Booker. He tries to go baseline. He steps back, shoots a 2, knocks it down from 10 feet. Cats 8-6. First points of the night for Devin Booker, the 6'6 freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Frazier with the ball in front court for the Dogs. Threads the needle, finds Mate. He drives, he lays it in, and a foul. Count the basket. Go to the line for the free throw.
Oh, my goodness. That's your old screen and roll. Dogs worked it to perfection, and let me tell you what a great pass from JJ.
Fouls on Harrison. That's his second on Aaron Harrison. We'll see what John Calipari decides to do. J.J. Frazier with the assist, is 92nd on the year. He comes out of the ball game. Gaines back in. Cam Forte is in for the first time. And Maton to the line for Georgia to shoot a free throw to try to close out a three-point play. So one Harrison out and one back in for John Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats. Aaron goes out after picking up his second foul. He had an atrocious game against the Dogs in Lexington earlier this year. But his brother was outstanding. Maton knocks down the free throw. Dogs lead at 9-8. 13:38 to go. First half. Cats with the ball in the front court. Students haven't stopped making noise the entire game so far. Booker in the corner. Goes by Forte on the baseline. Shoots an air ball. There's a whistle and a foul. That's unfortunate. They got Cam for the foul. That's his first, the team's second. Because Booker had air mailed that jumper. And now he goes to the line where he's 83%. 10 for 10 in the last 4 games from the line for the freshman. Booker, right-handed shooter, free throw on the way. No good. Well, that ends that streak.
You want to mention again about how well he's doing? I hope you do, because you jinxed him.
He is their leading scorer in conference games, averaging 12 points. They, like Georgia, share the ball very well and spread the scoring around. Cauley Stein in for Kentucky. Marcus Lee out. Second free throw on the way. Missed them both. That one rattled all over the iron. 83% shooter, misses a pair. Dogs rebound. Georgia up 9-8 with the ball. Man hops into the front court, dribbles against Andrew Harrison. We skip it to Thornton. He's guarded by Dakari Johnson. Handed off to Jurisic now. Then he gives it to Gaines. Gaines guarded by Booker. Goes left to the baseline, to the rim, and drops it off to Jurisic in traffic. There's a scramble for the ball. Kentucky steals it. Booker down the middle of the floor and will flip it up and hangs on the iron, and Johnson finishes it with a dunk.
Well, I got to tell you, there was all kinds of contact on both ends. Officials going to let them play. That's okay if you're going to be that way all night. Just be consistent about it.
10-9. Cats lead. Feed to Thornton. Comes in from the left baseline. Hooks it up high over those big giant trees down there and knocks it down. Marcus with his first field goal.
Beautiful left-handed shot.
Dogs back in the lead, 11-10. Cats with the ball. Jump hook in the lane. Cauley Stein, no good. Johnson the rebound. And as he muscles to put it back up and in, he got fouled by Thornton. He'll go to the line, try to earn it there. He gets 2 free throws as his putback attempt was unsuccessful. 11-10, Georgia leading Kentucky. 12:24 remaining in the first half. Dakari Johnson, a 7-footer out of Brooklyn, New York. 62% from the line this season. Free throw on the way. That one's around the rim and good. As a team, they shoot 74.5%, third best in the league. Thornton comes out. The Dogs' 5 will be Frazier and Mann, Gaines, Maton and Jurisic. We're tied at 11. Dakari Johnson, second free throw, rips it good. Cats back in the lead, 12-11. Sixth lead change of the game so far. We haven't played 8 minutes. Gaines with the ball in front court, right wing. Go to Jurisic straight away, feed it left to man. Maton pops out front, top of the keys, guarded by Johnson. Now we hand it off to Kenny. Gaines, they won't let Gaines shoot, but he's going to shoot now and bank it in for the right side. He curled all the way down to the right and kissed it off the square.
And they were a little afraid to challenge him, afraid of picking up the foul.
Kenny's first points, giving the Dogs the lead again, 13-12. Harrison with a head fake. Oh, his shot is blocked out of there by Maton. Frazier picks it up on the near sideline. JJ into the front court. Crowd erupts on that block shot. Gaines, cross court, takes the feed on the right wing. Can't shoot the three as Booker recovered on defense to guard him. We get it to man now. Kentucky plays a man-to-man. Here's Maton with the ball, top of the key. Dribbles it left, flips it over to Charles. Man, one-handed bounce feed to Jurisic against the double team. He powers it up and in off the glass.
And again, notice Kentucky now worried about the foul situation, not really challenging Georgia down there on the baseline. Two straight, Kenny Gaines. Now you got Nimi Jurisic. They didn't want to challenge.
15-12, Dogs by 3. Noise is deafening here in Stegman. Cauley Stein walks and dribbles on the left wing to Johnson, now to Booker. They work it around, give it back to Ulis with 10 to shoot. Ulis, the little guy, launches one. Ooh, air ball. Out of bounds. Dogs possession. That'll get us into a timeout.
Hey, Scott, that's the first time I've seen Kentucky all season look a little rattled. That position.
Long way to go. 10:55 to go in the half. Dogs by 3, 15-12 on number 1 Kentucky. Timeout. We're back to Stegman after this. Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance is your local insurance company. Their agents are your neighbors. They know and serve the residents of the 159 counties where they live. At Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what they do best every day.
Scott, just a great atmosphere at Stegman, great crowd in here, and just the demand for tickets has been outstanding. In fact, didn't we just have a Georgia alum before the game come and say he had 4 that he put up for sale? He got $600 a ticket. I'm telling you, I had one member of the athletic department tell me that he had more people request tickets to this game tonight than any football game last fall.
I see a lot of former Georgia players in the building. I see Jeremy Price straight across. Charles Barkley's here, of course. Bill Belichick's here. Ashley Judd. You know, it's star-studded. Tony Schiavone's here. Chuck Dowdle's here. Dogs are here, and they're leading by 3 with the ball. Here's Frazier on the left wing. He's guarded by Ulis. Gaines takes it off a curl, decides to shoot from the left side, fading away, leaves it long. Rebound is, it's going to be Kentucky basketball.
Yeah, it was off of Yante's foot. That was a good call.
Yante battling for it against a couple of blue shirts, and it rolled out of bounds, touched him last. It'll be Cats ball. Unbeaten Kentucky, 16-0 in the league, 29-0 overall. Their best record ever after 29 games. Nary a blemish on their record. Here's Towns trying to bump with Maton. Jump hook, right hand, good.
Wow, boy, he threw that elbow. I don't know how long they're going to let him get away with that now.
15-14. Dogs lead by 1. Turn it over, trying to beat the press in the front court. Kentucky with an alley-oop. Oh, that's nasty. Ulis to Cauley Stein. Another dunk. I think that's their 3rd of the night. We call a time as we're trapped in backcourt with Frazier. So we call a time. Cats came into this game 164 dunks on the year. That's 21% of their scoring is done the easy way. And they made it look easy with that Ulis lob to Cauley Stein on their last score.
Well, you know, we watched them warm up, Scott. They practice alley-oops in their warm-ups. They have a student manager stand there and at about the free throw line, and they cut their big men in from either side, and he just lobs it up, and they practice grabbing and stuffing just exactly like that. It was and it was well executed. Give them credit. Listen, they didn't get this record and rank number 1, you know, playing like you, me, and Tony. You know, that's for sure.
Well, they've got 6'10", 6'11", and 2 7-footers, Cauley Stein and Dakari Johnson, and they certainly take advantage of it. And then their guards are big, too, with Harrison twins at 6'6", and Same for Devin Booker. He's at 6'6". The smallest guy in that backcourt is Tyler Eulis at 5'9". Dogs inbound against pressure. Cats with a 16-15 lead. Dogs work the ball up with Frazier in the backcourt still, guarded by Eulis into the front court. He dribbles on the logo. Working right to left here. JJ with a push-off with the left arm. No call. They go to Gino, now to Thornton. Thornton spins on the three-point line, gives it back to JJ. 13 to shoot. Runner with a left hand won't go. Rebound pulled down by Towns. The Dogs are all over that iron tonight. Here's Harrison jumping for three. He's on the iron, and that's no good. Tries to save the rebound. It caroms into the corner. Can't get to it. It'll be the Dogs' ball. Harrison's three kicked right back towards the Georgia bench, and he couldn't save it in time. Dogs will have the ball. We'll substitute more. Forte back in. Gino out. Gaines and man Thornton and Maton. Frazier left the game as Gaines checked back in. Dogs with the ball. Gaines jumps in the air in the backcourt, now into the front side. Gives it back to Charles Mann. 16-15. Kentucky by a point. 9:12 to go in the half. Skip it to Forte. Took it away from Kentucky and then tries to lean in and score. They just swatted out of bounds. They came in from behind, Cauley Stein, and just whacked it into the row of photographers on the left baseline. Cauley Stein second on the team in block shots. That's his 48th of the year. Their block shot leader is Karl Anthony Towns with 67. Maton with the ball as the Dogs inbound, 15 to shoot. 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half. We trail by a point. Mann dribbles through traffic, dumps it over to Maton, 8 to shoot. Yante didn't look at the shot clock. We better look at it. Here's Mann down low in traffic. Ball's knocked out of his hands. It goes out of bounds, but only 1 second on the shot clock. Only 1 second.
Now they're not calling anything underneath. Because Charles had that ball underneath and he got bumped and hit, but knocked free. I guess the officials didn't feel like enough contact.
Maybe that's why they play such good defense, because it's unlimited. Yeah, do whatever you want. What the heck? Dogs will inbound, just a second on the shot clock. Gaines throws it to Thornton. Catch, shoot, three. Oh, yeah! He made it! That'll get us out of our seats. It got me out of mine. Catch try to answer. Oh, rats! Booker quiets the crowd with a three. Come on, man, let us enjoy it a little bit more.
Well, they got it up the floor in a hurry before the Dogs got back on defense and got a clean look at it.
19-18, Kentucky by 1. This is fun tonight. Here's Thornton on the left wing. He hands it off to Gaines. Gaines with a crossover dribble. Ducks through 2 defenders, throws it up. They take it away. They kind of blocked it right as he was letting it go. They just took it away from him. Marcus Lee, Cats with the ball and a 1-point lead. Here's Lyles out of the corner, gives it to Eulis up the right wing. Feed it into Towns. He's double teamed. Cross court to Lyles in the corner. Gets by Forte into the lane, throws it up with one hand, no good. Lee, wow, one-handed rebound and a flush. And Georgia wants a time, their second of the game. Wow, Marcus Lee. That made a statement right there. It's 21-18, Kentucky.
That was just beautiful. I mean, that's why Kentucky is where they are. That was a well-executed follow-up slam dunk. That was reminiscent of what you used to see with Dominique coming down from the ceiling.
That was just flat-out nasty right there is what that was. I mean, 6'9" Marcus Lee, sophomore from Antioch, California, with a one-handed rebound and just jammed it over the rim. Cats by 3, 21-18 with 7:55 to go in the first half, and the Dogs use a second timeout.
And Scott, 2 things that Georgia's got to do a little better here. One, you got to quit trying to put the ball up. It's obvious now you're not getting the calls underneath. You got to stop trying to put the ball up at point-blank range. They're too big, too tall. They're blocking everything with no calls. So, okay, let's go back outside, hit some jumpers. And the other thing, we got to find guys when a shot goes up and put a rear end in somebody's stomach and block them off the board so you don't get those follow-up flushes.
Marcus Thornton hit her only 3 so far. Dogs 1 for 5 on threes. Cats have only tried a couple, and Booker made their only one tonight, right after Thornton made ours. We inbound to Frazier against a double team. He zigzags up the floor, feeds Gaines quickly. That was a full-out sprint by JJ to get the ball inbounds and into the front court. 21-18, Cats by 3. Dogs with the ball. Gaines top of the key. Dribbles it and feeds it to Jurisic on his right. Goes to Frazier. Deep 3 from the right side is an air ball. Rebound is taken by Towns. He throws it up to half court. Here's Lyles with a three from the left corner. That's no good, off the rim. The rebound is controlled by Jurisic. He gives it to Mann. Mann down the middle of the floor, in the lane, floater, back iron no good, tap up by Thornton is no good, and then the rebound knocked out of bounds by Kentucky. It'll belong to the Dogs after the media timeout. 7:19 to play, half number one, Kentucky 21, Georgia 18. We're back to Athens in a moment. Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Tires Plus is proud to support Georgia Bulldogs basketball. Get an oil change in less than 30 minutes, guaranteed with an appointment, or the next one is free. Kentucky 21, Georgia 18. We've got 7:19 to go here in the first half. And the Dogs still struggling a little bit with their shot, shooting below 32%, 6 of 19.
And surprisingly, that shot that Charles Mann just missed down there on that last possession, which is still Georgia's ball, by the way.
Yes.
That was his first shot. We're at 7:19 to play in the first half. First shot that Charles Mann has had in the ball game.
Kenny Gaines 1 for 5. Marcus Thornton 2 for 5. Jurisic 2 for 3. JJ 0 for 2.
Well, you can
Both
see
you and Tony
just by
seem to think we're still a little bit tight.
Yeah, and just I can see just by you reading off those numbers. You know, Georgia fans can tell. Look, we're not shooting the ball well. We got to shoot it. We got to shoot it a little better than that. I'm surprised we're just 3 points down with that kind of shooting.
Points in the paint, Kentucky jumping out in front in that statistical category, 14-8. It was knotted at 8 a few moments ago, but they are going inside frequently.
Didn't take long, did it?
No, it did not.
Because you're right, it was just a few moments ago.
Dogs with the basketball. They work in the front court. Gaines dribbles. Cats play a man-to-man defense. Here's Mann with the ball now. Go to Jurisic above the left elbow. Cauley-Stein guards. Nimme dribbles it above the three. Hands it off to Mann with 18 to shoot. Back into Jurisic. Partially double teamed. Lyle swatting it. He jumps in the lane. Throws it. Oh! He threw it. He went by the basket. Threw it behind his head and up it is.
That was beautiful. Beautiful shot, Nimme.
Jurisic with 9.5. It's 21-20.
He split the double team. You're right. Went by them both, but he was also by the basket. But he threw it back over his head.
Cats almost turned it over. Harrison chasing down a loose ball right at the half court and the sideline. They go into Johnson, the big guy, 7-footer, turn jumper won't go. Rebound Thornton for the Dogs. Georgia can take the lead with a conversion here. 6:25 to go in the first half. Gaines right wing to Frazier. Quick feed to Jurisic above the arc. Nimme over to Thornton. We feed Mann now on the left side. He's guarded by Lyles. Here's Gaines, straightaway three. Off the iron. Kenny's cold tonight. Rebound, Cauley-Stein. Gaines just 1 for 6. Booker all the way to the rack. He reverse lay and rolls off the iron. No good. Dogs rebound. Booker had the bucket, and the iron was not kind to him here in Athens. Here's Mann with the ball now. The Dogs work in the front court, trailing by 1. Mann dribbles it slowly, gets a screen from Jurisic, dribbles behind it, now feeds Nimme down in the right corner. Goes baseline, there's a whistle, and check the call. Pat Adams out of a crowd, going to give us the sign. Foul on the Wildcats. That's on Andrew Harrison. A little too much contact down there.
That'll get that crowd a little friendlier to Pat. Pat was over a while ago complaining about some of those fans down there, giving him a little bit of a hard time underneath the basket. I mentioned earlier they were letting a lot go down there. But, you know, look, that's fine if they're going to let it go on both ends.
It is jam-packed in the seats and around the court. I think all the courtside seats are full tonight. Dogs will inbound. 5:47 to go in the half. And oh, my goodness. Gaines has to call a time. That's our third. We've only got 2 left, and we've still got a whole half plus 5:47 to go. Kenny couldn't get the ball in bounds and uses a third timeout.
You know what? That is where Kentucky's length and height really shows when they put a defender right up on the guy trying to inbound the ball, and then they've got huge guys in the back, too, defending. It's tough to find a place to even go long, to go deep. It's hard to get to get enough arc on it to get it deep.
You remember that movie, The Longest Yard, with Burt Reynolds?
I do.
And what they did to Ray Nitschke every time he came through the line of scrimmage?
That's what
Kenny needed to do on that play.
Yeah, exactly.
You're running out of time.
Just
don't burn the timeout. Just throw it off of one of their guys.
Well, they're standing there with their arms.
And make him remember it.
That's right. I was going to say, they're standing there with their arms there, so they're certainly, as we would like to say in the business, exposed.
Oh, Dogs look to throw it in again. Here's Gaines. to Maton. He broke to the basket and he dunks it with two hands.
That was
Yante to the rescue.
Wide open.
22-21.
Hey, give Mark Fox credit for coming up with that play during that timeout.
Well, I hope it was worth the timeout. Here's Towns with a spin move. High off the glass. Wow, he smacked Yante right in the head. And Yante gets called for the foul. Oh, my goodness. Towns, very physical player. He's a one-and-done guy. Going to the line. First foul on Maton. Fourth team foul on the Dogs. Free throw off the iron, no good. Towns, his feet are enormous. Look at that. He stands at the three-point line and his toes touch the foul line. Holy smokes, all he needs is a red nose. Towns with another free throw. Look at those things. They're huge. He's going skiing after the game. He missed them both. Maton got the rebound for the Dogs. Georgia with the lead by 1 and possession. 5:23. Mark Fox out on the floor in the backcourt trying to get the attention of his team. Frazier goes to Jurisic. Open three. Here it comes. No good off the rim. Rebound knocked loose by Kentucky and picked up by Ulis. The 5'9 freshman from Ohio into the front court. Dogs lead by 1. Cats have the ball. They work around the perimeter. Here's Booker between the circles. Inside, outside, Ulis open three. That's off the iron, no good. The rebound taken away by Lyles. They whistle the Cat for the foul.
Yeah, Dogs were in a zone. Yante Maton did a great job of defending that time, getting his body. We were talking about blocking out. He did, and he drew the foul.
Foul on Lyles. Trey Lyles, a 6'10 freshman from Indianapolis. That's his first, team sixth. Oh, JJ stepped out of bounds on the near side in backcourt. JJ trying to get up the floor against the pressure defense. Doug Sermons from 50 feet away down to the other end of the floor came blowing the whistle and running up saying he stepped out of bounds. Dogs turn it over. Cats with the ball. They trail by 1. They've got the ball. Towns on the left low block against Maton. Spins. Shoots off the window. That's no good. Lee got the rebound for Kentucky. Feeds it out to Booker in the corner. Forte cut off the baseline. They had to get it up the wing to do it.
Crowd loves the Dogs' defense. Listen to him.
Here's Ulis on the right wing. Long lob cross court to Lyles. Quick touch pass to Booker from the elbow. Fadeaway jumper off the mark. No good. Out of bounds.
Oh, you know what? Kenny Gaines was in his face. Dogs played some defense. I mean some defense on that possession.
It's going to be the Dogs' ball. 4:24 on the clock. First half. Georgia 22, Cats 21. Man takes the inbounds. He's guarded by Ulis. In the backcourt, Charles with a left-hand dribble. Passes into the front side to Gaines. Cross-court right side to Forte. He feeds Maton. Quick pass to Jurisic. We work it around. Man inside to Maton. One-on-one. Jump hook by the freshman. That one's off target. Rebound goes to Kentucky. He missed iron with that. Picked up by Lyles. Booker runs to the other end for the Cats. Gets fouled under the basket. That foul is going to be on Kenny Gaines. That's his first. And the team's fifth. And it's going to be free throws for Devin Booker, the 6'6 freshman. Back to the line for the second time. 83% from the stripe, but he was 0 for 2 in his first trip to the line tonight. Shooting with 4:01 on the clock in the first half. That free throw is up and in.
Boy, Mark Fox just throughout this first half, Scott, just running guys in and out and in and out, changing up this game. I mean, continuously changing the tempo, changing the way that the Cats are having to defend. And so far, working beautifully.
Tied at 22. Booker for the lead for Kentucky. On the way from the right-hander, it's good. 23-22. Very faintly, you can hear some of the Big Blue cheering here at Stegman Coliseum. It's a blackout tonight, and certainly all the students obliged because they got free black T-shirts.
And listen, Dog fans have done a great job getting out here tonight.
Man double-teamed in the backcourt. High lob pass to Jurisic, who'll take it across the timeline. Goes to Gino, who's back in. Right side of the floor we work. Trailing by a point, 23-22. Man with the ball, go to Thornton. Above the right elbow, back to the basket. Now he pivots. He's guarded by Johnson. He hands it off to Man across the circle. Feeds Thornton on the screen and roll. Marcus lets it fly and it floats down through the basket. Good. 24-23. Booker runs through traffic, and they're going to foul him. We wanted a traveling call.
Well, they should.
The foul came before the travel, I believe.
They gave him the NBA. They let him go about 3 without putting the ball on the floor.
Doug Sermons and Mark Fox animated with the travel call. Now they have a discussion, and Mark says, I'm good, and we're good. It's 3:33 to go. Oh, yeah, we got a long way to go. This is good stuff. 24-23. Dogs lead by a point. We're back in a moment. Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. The scoring recap brought to you by Regions Bank. Regions is the official bank of the SEC. You want tight? We got tight. 13 lead changes so far in this ballgame. Georgia leads at 24-23. Each team's largest lead has been 3 points. Leading scorers in the ballgame: Jurisic with 9 for the Bulldogs, Booker with 7 for Kentucky. I mean, this is nip and tuck. Both of them are here, and they're playing here at Segment Coliseum tonight. 3:33 remaining in the half. Georgia by a point, 24-23.
I was checking Twitter. Somebody's tweeted out, how does Tony Schiavone still have a head full of hair?
We're just reading random tweets tonight.
Well, no, I'm just looking at the way fans are responding to this one too. But you got a game like this one. It's tight like this. It's good.
Well, I think Tony's secret is he never put his hair on the line in all those wrestling matches. Cats with the ball. They trail by 1. Booker holds it high on the left side. Screen, Cauley Stein. Booker into the circle. Pull-up jumper is no good. Rebound. Man battles for it. Ulis may have touched it. Yeah, Cats touched it last. It's going to be the Dogs' ball.
And you saw who was right in Booker's face when he took that jumper. Kenny Gaines. Well, Kenny Gaines is just, I mean, he can clamp down defensively.
Dogs will inbound with Jurisic. Mark Fox had to ask for a towel, wipe his brow. It's a little warm in here at Coliseum, plus with 10,500 people in the building, makes it even a little bit warmer. We bounce it into man, back over to Jurisic. Cats bring full court pressure. Nimmy sprints into the front court. He's going to take it all the way to the rack. Now there's a whistle and a foul. Cauley Stein bumping and grinding all the way down the floor. Chuck gets whistled for the foul.
He got beat in the backcourt as Nimmy was coming full steam ahead and then running up to try to catch up to him. He just kept bumping him all the way up. Finally, the official said, if you're going to keep doing that, I'm going to blow the whistle.
That's his second. Jurisic back to the foul line. I like that play by Nimmy. He just never gave it up. He saw an opportunity. And we'll see if he can make it pay at the line. Nimmy with 9 points in the half and 3 for 4 from the stripe tonight.
He's got 2, but from now on, Georgia in the 1-and-1.
Jurisic, right-hander, free throw, no good. Back line a little too deep on it.
Oh, we can't leave points on the line tonight.
Cam Forte to check into the ball game. He'll come in for Gino. And Mark has substituted freely tonight and frequently, which was part of the plan. Nimmy with a second foul shot. This to give Georgia a 2-point lead. On the way, it's up, and it's good. 10 points in the half for Jurisic. He's done that now in 4 straight games. Led us in scoring at the half. But the other games, the other guys have kind of gotten into it after that. They have yet to do that tonight. 25-23, Dogs by 2. Dakari Johnson bumps in the paint, puts it up, misses his target. Hits off the glass to the left, but he's going to the line for free throws. The foul on Georgia.
Marcus Thornton, that's his second.
Stops the clock with 2:51 to go. Cats at the line. Let's pause for station identification. Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Free throw by 7-footer Dakari Johnson is good. Makes it a 25-24 contest. Johnson 3 for 3 tonight, 62% on the year. He apparently has been practicing his foul shots. That free throw is also good. 4 for 4 for the big guy. And we're knotted at 25. 2:51 to go in the half. Jurisic to inbound. Cats will press the length of the floor. Fakes the entry to Mann. He gives it to Gaines on the right side of the floor. Now back to Charles. Mann works against Ulis. Back and forth into the front court. Skips it to Mayton, who's back in. Yante above the arc finds Forte, turns to the basket, cross court to Jurisic, laying good. He sent it across the lane, about a 4-foot pass, and Nemi put it up and in. Jurisic has a dozen. Dogs lead by 2. Towns with the ball out to Harrison for a 3. That's a good one, right in front of the Dogs bench.
Well, they double team low, and so Kentucky threw it back out. Harrison was wide open.
That was Andrew Harrison. Cats in front now, 28-27. Dogs have hit just 1 3 tonight. Steal by Kentucky. Here's Harrison, bumped by Gaines. Kenny just gave him a shoulder.
Well, he cut into the lane. He was trying to draw the foul.
He got it all right.
Yeah, he got it all right. Kenny said, "You want to?" Oh, now they're going to call.
Oh my goodness! Pat Adams calling the intentional on Kenny Gaines.
Pat, take a look at it, buddy. Take a look at it because he cut in. He cut in.
Well, they're pulling everybody back off the foul line, and it'll be Harrison at the free throw line when they referees here, or the officials, look at the monitor just to our left here on the scores table. They look from this angle, as Chuck described, he cut into the lane, and Gaines was running shoulder to shoulder with him, and looked like Kenny kind of leaned in and
he's calling it a 1.
Gave him a left shoulder, so flagrant 1. It's going to be free throws, and they already had the ball, so they'll get the free throws and the ball. And leading by 1, 28-27, as we get a little bit closer to halftime. Andrew Harrison, 78% from the line this season, 92 of 117. He was 8 for 8 in their SEC clinching win over Arkansas Saturday. That free throw is up and good. So it's 29-27, Kentucky. You know, the thing impressive about these guys, they get this kind of effort just about every night when they go on the road. I mean, they get it from everybody.
They do, and you know what?
Those free throws are good, by the way.
They've earned that. I mean, that's who they are. They are Kentucky. They're 29-0 coming in. They've earned this.
30-27. Now they get a chance to take their largest lead of the night. They've got the ball. They work in the front court. 2 minutes to go. Harrison, step back on the baseline, knocks down a 17-footer. Oh, that was a sweet move. Now we got a whistle and a foul on, is that on Kentucky?
Yeah, number 12.
On Towns?
Oh, a delay a game warning.
Okay, not a foul. Doug Sermons with the explanation. 32-27. And the lead is 5 for Kentucky. Georgia with the ball. Here's Maton. He's guarded by Towns. Forte cuts through the lane. We can't get him the ball. Keep it out on the perimeter to man on the right wing. Charles drives into the lane. Oh, wow. Offensive foul on Charles. Now the whistle definitely going against us here late in the half. Minute 39 to go. We're down 5, and the Cats have the ball again. Now Doug Sermons over to the scores table again to talk to one of the official scores down to our left. Taylor Eccles will come in for Georgia. Man goes out.
They're pointing out a couple of fans over there they're not happy with.
Okay. 32-27. Kentucky leads by 5. 90 seconds to go first half. Harrison over to Lyles. Jumper in the circle. Or left of it is no good. Rebound. Fought for. Eccles battled for it. And it ended up loose. And Maton caught a low bounce off the floor. The Dogs have possession. Frazier to Jurisic. Top of the key. Nemi going to dribble a little bit. Skip it over to JJ on the wing. Now check the call. Inside. Battling around the basket. They're going to get the Cats. Well, for a foul. That's on Towns. That's his second.
And Maton will go to the line for 1 and 1.
1 for the freshman Yante. Johnson quickly in for Towns, who goes out for John Calipari's team. Well, they've got guys on the scores table here on the cell phone. I don't know if they're calling security or what, but Doug Sermons keeps coming over here.
Well, I'm going to be careful what I say, I'll tell you that.
I mean, what area are they looking at? Do you know?
Yeah, over there along the baseline and in the corner. And I don't know who it is.
Okay.
But
Are they throwing stuff? Are they verbally abusing somebody? What's going on? Minute 7 to play. First half, Maton up on his toes. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good by the freshman. Yante, who had a season-best 13 points and 9 rebounds in the game at Kentucky and Lexington a month ago with 6 points tonight. 32-28. We're down 4. Second free throw by the 6'8 freshman out of Pontiac, Michigan. The right-hander on the way. No good. He couldn't get the bounce. Lyle's got the rebound for Kentucky. We go 1 or 2 from the line. Harrison drives, penetrates, kick out. Eulis for 3. Short. Almost got the bounce. Rebound stuck high in the air. It's loose. Picked up by Frazier. 1-on-1. Over to Mann, who drives, and the lay-in is good. J.J. Mann with a basket. First points of the night for Charles Mann. We needed that. It's 32-30. That got the crowd roaring on their feet again.
And tip of the hat to J.J. Frazier. Took that missed rebound in full stride, beat the defender, and then got it beautifully to Charles.
Three-pointer, Harrison, iron, but nothing else. Rebound to Mann. We hold for 1 shot. 25 seconds to go in the half. Dogs can tie with a 2, lead with a 3 going into the locker room at the end of the first half. 17 seconds to go. Man-to-man defense for Kentucky. Mann dribbles. Maton gives him a partial screen. Charles out near the midcourt line. 9 seconds on the clock. Now 8, now 7. Guarded by Eulis. Mann dribbles right. Fakes the 3. Gives it to Jurisic with 2. Nimi drives. Puts it up. Oh, yeah! He got the kiss at the buzzer. That's the way to do it, dogs.
And I'll tell you what, give Kentucky credit for staying hanging with Georgia.
32 apiece. What a half. Toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country, Georgia. And Kentucky tied at 32, Chuck, after 20 minutes of solid basketball.
Yeah, I was just kind of tongue-in-cheek. I said, give the Wildcats credit for hanging with the dogs here. but the truth of the matter is, Georgia not playing still its best basketball, but hanging right with Kentucky. We're 32 all at the half. You got to like it. If nothing else, the score certainly favors Georgia. You want a lower score if you're the Bulldogs, but the Dogs have to continue to play like this, but shoot the ball a little better, particularly from the threes.
Time now for the Georgia Power Halftime Show, official energy partner of helping you save money. Visit GeorgiaPower.com to learn ways to save energy, find available rebates, or take a free online energy checkup. Georgia 32, Kentucky 32 here at Stegman Coliseum. Cabell Philpott's next in our IMG Network studios here on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG.
Welcome to the Georgia Power Halftime Report. Georgia Power, proud to power the Georgia Bulldogs. Live from the IMG Network studios, here's your host, Cabell Philpott.
My goodness, Georgia fans, take some time to catch your breath. Your Bulldogs tied with top-ranked Kentucky at 32 at the halftime buzzer. Thanks for the lay-in from Nimi Jurisic. As we take a look around the SEC, one game final from earlier this afternoon, Alabama and Ole Miss going toe-to-toe until late in the second half. Ole Miss, IMG Sports Network, David Kellum with the call. The Rebs would pull away. Bad news for the Bulldogs, 82-74. Ole Miss victorious over Alabama. Auburn and Missouri getting together this afternoon, or this evening rather, in Columbia. Both teams obviously hoping to get a win. Rod Bramblett on the Auburn IMG Sports Network. At halftime, it was tied at 32. Missouri a 1-point lead out of halftime, 17:44 to go in the second. Missouri up on Auburn. Texas A&M on the road at the O-Dome. The Gators staring the last 4 down. That means they would have to play on Wednesday night of the tournament in Nashville in a couple of weeks. They're trying to avoid that disaster. 26-25. Gators up on Texas A&M just out of halftime. Top-ranked Kentucky and Georgia going toe-to-toe. Your Bulldogs tied with the number 1 team in the country, trying to snap that undefeated streak. When we return, we'll check in on the top 25 right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Welcome back to the Halftime Report. Top-ranked Kentucky and Georgia battling wire-to-wire, 32 all at halftime at Stegman Coliseum. Crowd electric tonight, helping keep the Bulldogs in this ball game, and they're uglying up as best they can. Top-ranked Kentucky right now on the ropes, not sure what to do with the scrappy Bulldogs. As we take a look around the top 25, couple of games in progress, none bigger than the matchup in the fog. 9th-ranked Kansas and number 20 West Virginia. Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from IMG. Number 20 West Virginia 40, 9th-ranked Kansas 26. A rare double-digit deficit in the fog at halftime for the 9th-ranked Jayhawks. They are certainly in trouble. Number 4 Villanova on the road at Creighton. Wildcats projected at this point to be a number 1 seed overall, believe it or not, in the NCAA tournament, but they're losing by a point to Creighton just outside of halftime. Number 21 Butler falls to Georgetown 60-54 as the Hoyas hang on to topple number 21 Butler. Number 10 Maryland 60, Rutgers 50, the final score. And number 19 North Carolina crushing Georgia Tech tonight 81-49. Halftime score at Stegman Coliseum, Georgia 32, top-ranked and undefeated Kentucky 32. Can the Dogs hold on? We'll see next. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowdle, first half stats, second half call coming your way. Get ready, Bulldogs fans, right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG.
Scott Howard back with you here at Stegman Coliseum. It is halftime in Athens. Georgia 32 and Kentucky 32. This segment and the first half stats is brought to you by Scana Energy. Georgia fans, each time your Bulldogs score a three-pointer this season, Scana Energy will make a $25 donation to UGA's General Scholarship Fund. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. All right, Chucky, let's take a look at the first half stats here.
Well, one thing I'll tell you right now.
All right.
Georgia's got 0 points off of turnovers. And you know why?
Why?
Because Kentucky's got no turnovers. That's impressive. You play a half of basketball, particularly the way Georgia plays defense, and you don't turn it over, that's pretty impressive. But, you know, if Georgia starts shooting the ball better, look out.
So the goose egg for Kentucky on turnovers. Georgia has 5. Shooting percentages, Georgia 12 of 28, 43%. Kentucky 11 of 33, 33%. Dogs had only 1 3-pointer, 1 of 8. And that one went to Marcus Thornton with 1 second left on the shot clock on an inbounds play. Kentucky 2 of 6. Andrew Harrison, and Devin Booker, each with a 3-pointer for the Cats. They're 8 of 12 from the line. Georgia 7 of 11. Dogs plus 5 on the glass against Kentucky. 24-19, out rebounding the Wildcats in the first half. Georgia had 9 assists. Cats had 3. Kentucky, the SEC's top shot blocking team, had 3 in the first half. Georgia had 2. Dogs had no steals. Kentucky had 2. Leading scorer in the game is Nemi Jurisic. Look at that. The senior from Montenegro, 5 of 7 from the floor in the first half with 14 first half points. He's the only player in double figures. Kentucky led by Andrew Harrison with 9 points in the paint, 18-14. Georgia rallies to win that stat in the first half. Points off turnovers, as Chuck explained, Kentucky 6, Georgia 0. Off the bench, Kentucky with 15 points and Georgia with 6. We're dead even at halftime. Georgia 32, Kentucky 32. 20 minutes to go. Can the Dogs upset the number 1 team in the land for the first time in school history? We'll find out after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Second half about to get underway. Jurisic with a running 2-pointer off the window as the first half came to an end to tie the ball game at 32. And just so you know, Georgia 17-1 this season when leading or tied at the half, 8-1 in SEC games. So if we stay true to form, then the news should be good in about 20 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, that would be good, right? So, what do you say, 17-1?
17-1 when we lead or tied at the half.
That's good. I was looking back. Teams that have taken Ole Miss to overtime, Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Ole Miss had them tied at overtime, and A&M actually had a lead on them at overtime. At halftime. And this team, Kentucky, has not trailed a lot this year.
No,
by the way,
not much at all.
What the officials are, apparently some of the fans on the far side are being very derogatory towards the officials, and they're upset about it as they're coming up and down the floor.
Okay.
And they've said, if it happens again, they're going to stop the game, but we'll see.
So fans are yelling at the referees.
Imagine that.
That is stunning. Georgia with the ball to start the second half. We're tied at 32. Man top of the key. We'll work down the right end of the floor now in front of our bench. Here's Gaines. After he ran the baseline, takes a feed on the right wing. Above the arc with 15 to shoot. They back off. He shoots a three. Good! Kenny with his first three.
Oh, if we could get him going. Wow.
35-32. Dogs by three. Just underway here in the second half.
You know what? He measured that too and shot it over his defender. They didn't back away from him.
Cats with the ball. They work on the left end of the floor. Towns going to take it and run. Tried to bank it in on the run. No good. Cauley Stein with the rebound. The spin move. The putback won't go. And the rebound is touched out by Jurisic. Cats missed two by their big guys. Towns missed one. And then Cauley Stein missed one.
Well, the Dogs are challenging every shot. I mean, they're not making anything easy. Now, look, Kentucky's got that big height advantage, big size advantage inside, but the Dogs are challenging them.
Booker for three, left corner. Too far, no good. Rebound, Jurisic had it. It bounced off his head, then bounced off Cauley Stein's chest behind him, but Nimmy able to find the handle. Dogs with the ball and a three-point lead. Here's Mann with a screen from Thornton. Drives down the lane, runs all the way inside, kicks it out. It went right through Marcus's legs and out of bounds. Dogs turn it over.
Well, Marcus says he didn't touch it. I couldn't tell. But I will tell you this. That's a good sign. Charles Mann put the ball on the floor, took it to the hole. Maybe we're going to see some more of that here in the second half.
Cats will inbound. Backcourt, bring it up with Ulis, who starts the second half. Tyler Ulis and Aaron Harrison and Booker and Lyles and Towns on the floor for Kentucky right now. They feed it into Towns. We double team quickly. He throws it back out front. Ulis stumbles, finds Harrison in the right corner for a three, and it's good. Aaron Harrison ties it at 35 with his first three of the night. Only a 29% three-point shooter this season is Aaron Harrison. Here's Gaines exploding down the lane, throws it up, it goes over the iron and is rebounded on the left baseline by Kentucky. Kenny threw up a running air ball. Here's Harris, baseline, or out to Harrison from Ulis, rather. His three is no good. Rebound went right back to him. Now he's going to drive and put it up and in. It bounces off the back iron. They call a foul on Gino. I believe they're going to count that basket as well. They will count the bucket.
Well,
that's three on KPG.
Yeah, and they said he was holding him. So they're going to get the basketball. They're going to get the ball out underneath, right? They're going to get the ball out underneath. The basket is good. They get the ball out underneath.
Gino comes out. Forte in for Georgia. 18 minutes on the clock. Cats are now up 37-35. They've scored 5 straight, looking for more. Into the corner to Aaron Harrison. He's going to come in and hand it off inside to one of the big guys, Towns. He may have traveled, but they don't call it. Can't help it with those big giant feet. Booker, three-pointer off the iron. Rebound to Forte for the Dogs. Campbell bring it up a few steps and then give it to Mann, and he'll take it into the front side.
Cannot stress enough what a great job Georgia's doing on challenging shots.
Thornton delivers a pass to Mann. Jurisic cuts through the lane, slices and dices and lays it up and in front of Lyles. 16 for Nimmy. 37 all. We're tied. Harrison from the right corner drives inside. Oh, they whistle a foul. That's going to break. Well, if he wanted some bad language on the referees, Doug Sermon's going to get it after that call.
Well, Doug Sermons is the one that's been over here chirping about the fans. He's not a happy camper tonight.
I looked at a replay. I didn't really see the foul. 37 all. Cats at the line. Harrison shooting free throws. Number one is up and in good. Aaron Harrison. And Andrew will come back into the ball game. Thornton's going to come out for Georgia. Cats up 38-37. Aaron Harrison, 78% from the line this season. He knocks them both down. So it's 39-37. 17-13 remaining. Mark Fox has shed his sport coat, or his suit coat, after that last call. Maton is in for Georgia now at the elbow. Underhand toss over to Mann on the right wing. Charles throws down the lane. Shot blocked. Wow, Towns blocked it. Harrison running out on the other end. Gaines blocks his shot. Now they whistle a foul on Maton.
That'll be his second.
Jim Burr with a call. Yante. Second foul of the half. Second foul on Maton. And back to the line goes Aaron Harrison, shooting another pair of free throws with Kentucky up by 2.
Well, that call by Doug Sermons a few seconds ago may end up being a big call in this game.
Free throw is good by the right-hander. Harrison, a sophomore from Richmond, Texas, 6'6", same as his twin brother, and they're both McDonald's All-Americans. Free throw up and iron roll good. He's got all their points here in the second half. 41-37. Cats lead is 4. Dogs ball, we work in the front court. Maton above the arc, guarded by Towns. Near side to Mann. Feed it into Jurisic. He spins, throws it up short. Rebound touched out by Kentucky. Carl Anthony Towns under the basket touched it out in front of Forte. It'll be Dogs ball. 21 on the shot clock. 41-37. Cats lead by 4. Dogs will inbound with Gaines. Right of the basket in front court. Fakes the pass left. Gets it into Frazier on the right wing. JJ with the ball. The Gaines on the left side. They go to Frazier. Frazier got a screen from Maton. Curls away from Ulis. Down the lane. Floats it with the left hand good. He looked surprised that no one was there to block it. JJ with his first points of the night. 41-39.
Floated in there beautifully.
Towns in traffic. Double team. Big guy. Can't stop him. Jump hook is good. Dogs almost turned it over in the front court. 43-39 Kentucky after that quick bucket by Towns. He's only got 4 tonight. Jurisic with the ball. Spins. Goes against Lyles. Now they called a foul on the floor. Nemi finished the play. Made the basket. Georgia wanted the continuation, but the whistle clearly blew before the play was finished. They called a foul on the floor.
Sermons wasn't going to give Georgia that. It's going to be hard to get Sermons to give Georgia anything.
Well, Trey Lyles picked up his second foul. He was the guilty party. Dogs will inbound the ball. They will get the ball back. The entry tipped out by Ulis, denying Frazier in front of the Dogs bench. We'll have to throw it in again. 16 on the shot on the game clock. 16 minutes to play here at Stegman Coliseum. On a sold-out senior night for the Bulldogs, last home game of the year. Dogs finish up on the road at Auburn Saturday. Frazier with the ball, dribbles near half court, now far side of the floor. Gives it to Jurisic, top of the key. Nemi hands off to Yante. Maton kills the dribble. Cauley Stein tightens the D, bounces it over to Gaines to his left, 19 to shoot.
Plenty of time.
Dogs down 4. And Jurisic going to be fouled out left of the lane. They got a push on Towns. That's going to be 3 on the big guy, Carl Anthony Towns. And that gets us into a timeout. 15:41 remaining in Athens. Kentucky 43 and Georgia 39. We're back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Georgia fans are number 1. That's why they deserve a close, comfortable shave with America's #1 shaving cream, Barbasol. We've got a close shave working here tonight. 43-39, Kentucky leading Georgia by 4. There have been 16 lead changes, Chuck. 8 ties in this ball game, and this is Kentucky. No, I correct myself. Kentucky's largest lead has been 5. Georgia's largest lead has been 3.
Well, the Dogs are doing a great job. They're keeping themselves in this, despite the fact, as we mentioned, they haven't hit a lot of outside shots. But so far here in the second half, that Kenny Gaines measured up a 3 and knocked it down. If they can start to hit a few more threes, because I got to tell you, going inside against Kentucky, boy, it is a tough slog in there. And you've seen Charles Mann take the ball inside on the drive, and I like that kind of basketball for Georgia. I think that is Charles Mann drive into the hole, I think is Georgia basketball. But they are so big and so lanky, so length. They've got such great length inside that they make it hard to get shots up.
Well, the Dogs are going to have to go a while without Marcus Thornton, who picked up his third foul and a controversial call earlier in the half. So we've got Mann and Frazier, Forte, Maton, and Jurisic on the floor. Cats will have the Harrison twins, Ulis, Dakari Johnson, and Willie Cauley-Stein. We throw it into Frazier on the left wing. Fresh 35 on this possession for Georgia. We trail by 4. Nimi with the ball, sets the screen for Frazier. Right-hand dribble, feeds Nimi. Here comes a 3, and it is no good. Rebound tapped by Maton and saved over the inline by a diving Cauley-Stein. It's 5-on-4 right now. No, that was Harrison, excuse me. Harrison with the ball. Into Johnson. Johnson spins on the left block, throws it over the iron. Rebound on the floor, loose, knocked about, picked up by Frazier for Georgia. JJ up the floor, slams on the brakes. Ulis got in his way with good defense. Kentucky recovers in a hurry. Their transition defense is outstanding. Dogs with the ball. We still trail by 4. Here's Maton, near side pass to Mann, who catches it with one hand. Now drives to the basket, throws it up high, and it goes. On the drive, Charles with his first points of the half. He's got 4 in the game. And it's 43-41, Kentucky. Charles only taken 4 shots tonight. He's made 2 of them. Cats with the ball. They toss it around the perimeter. Ulis holds it between the circles. They go to Harrison on the right side. Harrison to Ulis to the other Harrison. 3 ball right corner, no good. Rebound, top of the key, picked up by Ulis over to Cauley-Stein. Reverse lay-in, he hit the backboard. Hit the other side of the backboard, and it comes down to Jurisic for Georgia.
He wanted to dunk it, but Nimi was coming over. He decided to try to reverse it. He was too far out.
Dogs ball. We can tie with a 2, lead with a 3. Forte across the lane to Frazier. Here comes a high rainbow 3. No good off the rim. Rebound to Kentucky. Dakari Johnson to half court. Ulis into the front side.
And Kentucky now challenging every 3 Georgia takes. The one Nimi took a second ago, that one by JJ. They are getting up in the air.
Oh, they turned it over for the first time tonight, Chuck.
Trying to go underneath. They just threw it too high.
Andrew Harrison trying to go to Dakari Johnson, threw it out of bounds on the inline. That's their first turnover of the night. We got 13:54 to go in the game. Impressive stuff.
We got Marcus Thornton back on the floor now. He's got 3 fouls. He's going to have to be careful.
Jurisic out. Thornton in, Gaines in, Maton, Frazier, and Forte.
Whoa!
And Thornton threw it out of bounds on the far side, off the hands of J.J. Frazier. That was a pass intended for a 6'8 guy, and J.J.'s only 5'10.
That was exactly right. Marcus just flipped it real nonchalantly and flipped it way too high.
Mark Fox asking for some energy in the building, and the crowd stands and gives it to him. Trying to encourage his defense. We're down 2 with 13:42 remaining in the ballgame. 43-41. Well, his request has been answered. It's loud and Stegman. Towns lobs it left wing to Ulis.
Stay in that zone. Stay in that zone.
Ulis moves to his right, shoots a 3, misses it. A brick that's rebounded by Maton. Outlet to Frazier, far sideline. He sprints into the front court. Yante gives it back to JJ, then sets a screen. JJ doesn't move, now feeds Thornton, who comes out slowly out front. Thornton's going to take Lyles down the left edge, and the layup good. He flipped it up and in. Oh, Marcus Thornton. He's got 10 points. We're tied at 43. That'll create a little more noise.
Dogs are feeding on defense off that noise.
Lyles with the ball above the arc, just a little left of the circle, over to Harrison on the left wing. Lob it into Towns, back out to Harrison. He's going to dribble and drive into the lane. Oh, he hit the underside of the backboard again. Rebounded Frazier, down the middle of the floor, over to Gaines. He jumps to the basket, throws it up and it good on the drive.
Oh, my goodness.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Calipari 5 feet out of the coach's box calls for time as the Dogs surge into the lead by 2. Time 45. Hillbilly Bob in the house. We're back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Georgia with a 45-43 lead. Fans time to grab seats on StubHub, where there are only good surprises, like never paying added fees at checkout. Plus, with fan rewards, every ticket you buy earns points toward exclusive perks. StubHub's the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Scott, you got to love Kenny Gaines here, getting off to a good start in the second half now. Got his point total up to 7. And hit a 3, hit that nice 2, and now putting some pressure on the Kentucky defense, while Georgia's defense had gone to that zone, and it's having an effect. On top of that, the crowd really helping to pick up Georgia when they get down there on that defensive end.
Dogs have scored the last 6 points, and in this game, that's a mammoth run, because there have been 17 lead changes and 9 ties.
I was going to say it has been for either team. Neither team's been able to make a really huge run, but Georgia certainly right now doing what they need to do.
Crowd in it, most of them standing all the way around the bowl here at Stegman. They go to Towns, jump hook, short, rebound, fought for. Dogs are going to get it. Thornton got it in traffic, gives it to Frazier. Forte blocking for him. JJ running with a hand on Cam's back like he was running through left guard on the goal line.
And you know what? The Dogs had come out and gone back to man, came out of that zone.
Frazier to Forte, right wing. He's guarded by Booker. Cam going to put it on the floor. Booker going to put his hands on Cam as he dunks it on the finish. And Doug Sermons is going to have a word with Cam because they blew the whistle and a foul on Kentucky way before that finish. So I know you're excited, son, but you got to stop when the whistle blows. Booker the foul. That's his first. Team's third. 45-43. Dogs by 2 with the ball. 12:04 to go in the game. Thornton with the ball, goes to Frazier. Then Marcus sets the screen, rolls out on the wing. We work it around the opposite side of Gaines. He sidesteps the defender. Oh! Two-handed monster dunk. He elevated and flexed it.
He had the baseline all to himself. There was not a blue jersey on the baseline. He had a clean path for that slam.
Well, he gave Aaron Harrison a head fake. Here's Booker for a 3. He lets us enjoy that last one a little more with a miss. Rebound to Thornton. Outlet to Frazier into the front court. Dogs by 4. Largest lead of the game for Georgia. 47-43, 11:27 to go. Thornton with the ball, pivots at the elbow. Booker's guarding. They go to Frazier out on the right wing. Now they switch. Back into Thornton. Harrison's got him. Feeds it underneath to Forte. Forte with a pass across the lane to Maton. He couldn't handle it. Gets it out of trouble. Only 9 to shoot. JJ pumps a 3. Oh, good!
How did he do that?
Oh, the basket ate it, and it tastes like chicken.
How did he do that?
50-43, timeout Kentucky. JJ lights it up with a 3-pointer, his first of the night. Second of the half and third of the game as Kentucky calls a time. Stegman is rocking, folks.
What a shot by J.J. Frazier. And you know what? He didn't have to take it right then. He still had 9 seconds. I thought he'd make a move with it. But there was a defender in his face. He just lofted that one.
Wow.
It never touched anything but the bottom of that twine.
J.J. now with 5 points in the game. Jurisic leading Georgia with 16.
Who is that masked man?
We need a little more of that. We're going to be flat worn out after this thing is over. I can guarantee you that. Everybody in a white shirt, and that includes the coaching staff. 50-43, Georgia by 7, biggest lead of the game.
Well, you
got a long way to go against the number 1 team in the land.
But right now, you know what's doing it for Georgia? Defense. And look, as exciting as those offensive plays have been, it's still the defense the Dogs are playing.
Yeah, Kentucky shooting 29% for the game. They work it inside now to Towns. He spins on the block against Thornton. He's going to lay it in off the glass. Good.
And Marcus Kennedy's got 3 fouls on him. Not much he can do to contest that.
50-45. Dogs into the front court. Here's Frazier. One-handed pass to Forte, right wing. Go to Maton. Off the wing to Mann, who's back in. Charles between the circles. Gets the screen from Thornton. Mann a crossover into the lane. Scoops it over to Marcus. He puts it up with the right hand. The kiss off the glass is good for Thornton. He's got a dozen.
And that was all Charles Mann. Charles drew the double team and drew a little contact and just handed it nicely nicely to Marcus, who had the easy kiss off the glass.
Man, with his 6th assist in the ballgame, Harrison pump fake on 3, doesn't pull the trigger. They feed it inside to Big Towns. Towns throws it up again over Thornton, and it's good.
Well, they're going to keep doing that. Marcus can't really,
Well, they're going to have to make a change then.
Well, yeah, because you can't do anything about it if you're Marcus Thornton. You can't pick up that 4th foul.
52-47, Georgia leads. Dogs have the ball. Forte dribbles it with Booker guarding. He's got his hands all over him. Cam going to drive, tries to scoop. Oh, he does! Ice cream sundae, scooped it up and in.
You love that. You answered it. You answered there, too.
Forte with his first 2, 54-47. And what do we got on the end line?
He dribbled it out of bounds.
Cauley Stein turns it over and then stops the clock with 9:35 to go. Takes us into immediate timeout. Georgia 54, Cats 47. Back after this, Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Healthy relationships are important to maintain, even with your car. Avoid low-quality gasoline that can leave deposits in your engine. On always use the gas that cleans. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car.
Well, Scott, I got to tell you, one of the things the Dogs are doing really, really well here in the second half is rebounding the basketball, because they now have a 33-27 lead on the Cats on the glass. So they're doing a good job there. And obviously, as I said before, defense. They're doing a great job of defending.
Kentucky shooting 32% for the game, 29% here in this half. Dogs are a scorching 66.7% in the second half, 10 of 15, 51% for the game, and leading it 54-47, matching our biggest lead of the contest.
And Kenny Gaines, again, having a terrific second half here. He's got 9 points now. And Kenny at halftime, let me see. In the first half,
yeah, 2.
2?
Yep.
Yeah, so he's got 7 here in the second half. Doing a good job. Good job. And still playing a great defense.
Jurisic and Thornton, the players in double figures for the Dogs. That's appropriate on senior night. Nemi with 16, Marcus with 12. Thornton also in a bit of foul trouble. He's out of the game right now. Dogs ball after the Cats turned it over for only the second time just prior to the timeout. 54-47. Georgia leads. Dogs have the ball. Jurisic sends it to the right side to Mann.
Now Kentucky in his own.
Feed it into Mayton. Jump hook left hand. Back iron no good. Mayton got the rebound. Back up. No good. Put back up and in. Somebody got it.
Cam Forte.
Was it Cam? He got his fingers on it. Forte tipped it in. 56-49. 9-point Dogs lead.
They're giving it to Yante.
We'll give it to Mayton with 8 then. Cats with the ball, 56-47 Georgia.
Dogs back in the zone.
Right corner 3, Harrison, good. Andrew Harrison with a 3 from the right corner. That's always a killer. He's got a dozen. Second 3 of the game. 56-50. Dogs by 6. And man, almost had it stolen by Eulis. Man into the front court, go to Jurisic. Swing it over to Gaines. Booker guarding. Kenny backs away. Feeds man quickly. One-handed pass to Nemi. Fakes. Now going to drive. Puts it on the floor. Right side of the floor with 12 to shoot. Man. Lead step with the right leg. Now dribbles with the left hand. Curls around slowly to the baseline. They knock the ball loose. Rolling through everybody's legs. Harrison going to pick it up. Tries to draw contact. Falls to the floor. He was flopping. Doug Sermon standing right there, didn't call it.
And they got a timeout.
And they had to call a timeout as their guy went to the floor. Harrison, John Calipari's, he's saying, what happened? Kentucky had to use another timeout. They've got 1 left. 8:10 to go. We're up 6, 56-50. That ball, Chuck just kept rolling through legs, and then Harrison finally picked it up. There was some contact with Mann, but it looked like Harrison tried to amplify it a little bit. Fell to the floor.
And that's why he didn't get a call.
Referee looking right at it, didn't call it.
But you'd have thought he would have traveled at that point, but there was no traveling. That's what Mark Fox was upset about. He wanted to travel. Kentucky wanted the foul. Nobody got either what they wanted, except Kentucky did get a timeout.
Georgia used 3 of theirs in the first half. Kentucky's down to 1 timeout. It'll be the Cats' ball. They'll have to bring it up the length of the floor. Georgia comes back with Frazier and Gaines. Gino back in, and Jurisic and Thornton are 5 on the floor. Harrison, Ulis, Booker, Towns, and Marcus Lee in for Kentucky. Cats in blue, Dogs in white. They work in the front court now. The Cats do, down by 6. Booker going to dribble and drive with the left hand. Feeds it off to Lee underneath. Misses it from short range, but Towns with the rebound on the right side and the putback good by the big guy. Towns heating up. He's got 10. Only had 2 at the half. He had 15 points and a season-high 13 rebounds against Georgia and Lexington earlier this year. Dogs' lead is down to 4 now. It was at 9. Jurisic on the right side, hands off to Frazier, comes around behind Nimi. Now Frazier, top of the key, going to drive. Spins on the left side of the lane, throws up a 10-foot air ball. Rebounded by Ulis underneath. Kentucky on the move, trailing by 4. Ulis dribbles through traffic, curls around on the right wing. Now Harrison has the ball, top of the key, through the legs, drives, pulls up. Oh my goodness. Lobbed it up to Lee for that one-handed dunk.
Yeah, that was not a shot. That was the alley-oop. He was passing that.
Lee's done that a couple of times. 56-54. Cats with 7 straight. Oh, you just can't get comfortable, can you? Frazier on the left side to Jurisic. Nimi, left-hand dribble. Lee stumbles and just falls all over Nimi's back and is whistled for a foul.
Grabbing him around the shoulders as he went by him.
That'll get us into a timeout. The foul on Lee, his first. That's only the team's 4th. 6:55 to go. We got to finish ahead. It's 56-54. Georgia leading number 1 Kentucky. Back to the Stag after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network from ING. Dogs will close out the regular season with a road game. Travel over to Auburn, Alabama. Auburn Arena. Game with the Tigers at 4 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday, and then it's on up to Nashville next week for the start of the SEC tournament. That'll begin on Wednesday, March 11th. So Chuck's gassing up the Toyota, and we'll jump in it and head on out because, a drive by Georgia gets the crowd's attention, just like the bold new Camry with its aggressive new style. Visit your local Toyota dealer today and score a great deal on a new Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. 56-54, Cats on a 7-0 run. Chuck, after Georgia had a 13-4 run to take a 9-point lead, but Kentucky has drawn us right back.
Well, you said it perfectly, Scott. You just can't you can't relax, and for Georgia they can't either. You got 35 on the shot clock. Your ball out underneath the basket, so Dogs need to. It's an important possession for them now. Don't let Kentucky get back and tie it. Keep it a two possession game here.
Dogs 0-3 against top 25 competition this year, losing to Gonzaga, Arkansas, and Kentucky previously, but given number 1 fits here on our floor with 6:52 to play and leading by 2 with the ball. Here's Gaines off the wing, going to drive down the lane, and he flips it up and in. Towns didn't try to block his shot. Gaines just laid it off the square.
Towns just gave ground. He's got 3 fouls, so he had no choice. He couldn't challenge him.
58-54, the lead for Georgia, 6.5 to play. Ulis with the ball, bounce feed into Towns. He pushes off, jump hook over Thornton, good off the glass. He gets so close. That's such an easy shot for the 6'11", 255-pounder out of Piscataway, New Jersey.
Yeah, he doesn't start that close, but by the time he pops you a couple of times, he can move you, even a big guy like Marcus, and then he's got that easy little short shot.
58-56, Dogs lead by 2. Cats man-to-man, Jurisic goes baseline. Yeah, he lets it fly, rattled around the rim. Nimi with 18 in the game. 60-56, the lead is 4 again. Cats in the front court. They go back into Towns. Let's put 3 guys on.
Oh, my God. Well, that was obvious.
There's a charge.
That's his 4th. Wow. That's his 4th.
Thornton is pumped up on that one.
Now, you want to talk about a flagrant? That should be a flagrant. When you turn around and throw that elbow like that to move somebody, that should be a flagrant.
John Calipari reading Towns the riot act as he comes out of the game. The freshman, Dakari Johnson, they'll send the 7-footer into the game now. The Dogs lead by 4. We've got the ball back. Towns just picked up his 4th. And this crowd is electric as it has been all night long. 60-56 Georgia. Thornton with the ball, right elbow, pivots, goes against Johnson, leans in. They block his shot, but they whistle a foul first. They got Johnson tugging and pulling on Thornton's jersey. That's going to send Marcus to the foul line for 2. Foul on Dakari Johnson, his first, and the team's 6th. Clock stops with 5:36 to go, and Thornton to the line. Marcus with a dozen points tonight, 1 for 2 from the stripe this evening, 65% of the year. Free throw on the way, good. Thornton with a Baker's dozen, 61-56. The lead grows to 5 for the Dogs. Thornton shooting into our students to our right behind the basket. Free throw on the way. Yes, sir. 62-56. Cats quickly into the front court. 5.5 minutes to play. They're down 6. John Calipari, 17 inches out onto the floor, calling the play. Now Kentucky runs it. Harrison with a left-hand dribble across the top of the key. Here comes the 3. No good. Rebound Thornton. I don't know if that's the shot they wanted. Calipari just holding his hands on top of his coiffed hair as to say, what are you doing?
Well, let me tell you, it wasn't a bad shot, though. It really wasn't. He had about a 15-foot jumper, and he had a clean look.
Here's Frazier for Georgia in front court. Dogs with a 6-point lead in the ball. Mann has it now. Works against Harrison. Into the lane. Spins. Oh, he lost the ball. Cauley Stein took it away. Dogs wanted to block. Long lead pass down the floor. Oh, Harrison got the basket, and he got a foul. They're going to count that. It's going to be a 3-point play for Kentucky. Oh, crud. 62-58.
Yeah, Kenny got back down there, and he was trying to make a play, but that was just a smart offensive play as he protected it with his body as he went up to lay it in, drew the foul from Kenny Gaines.
3rd foul on Gaines, and Kentucky will be shooting free throws as soon as Aaron Harrison finishes relacing his left shoe. Down on a knee, having to work with his shoelace. Free throw to come, 4:48 to play. Clock stop, free throw by the right-hander, no good, rebound. Oh, Cauley Stein reached over Juricic, got it, and then flushed it for 2. A big dunk by Kentucky, and that draws them within a deuce. 62-60. We haven't heard from Cauley Stein in a while. We heard from him then. Only 4 points for the big guy. 62-60 Georgia. Dogs have the ball. Juricic to man. Oh, almost got away from Charles. And Eula swipes at it. Man, they're trying to screen him with Thornton. Finally, they call a foul. Jim Burr blows the whistle. Euless with his hands and legs all over Charles. They finally blew the whistle.
Yeah, and he was using that leg. He was trying to slide around the screen that Marcus Thornton was setting, and then he stuck his leg out there.
That's the 7th on the Cats. It's 1-1 time for the Dogs now as we hit the bonus with 4:22 to go.
Got to make the free throws.
Charles Mann now working on his shoelaces, going to the line for the first time tonight. Charles with 4 points in the game, just 2 for 4. And stepping to the line, shooting 66% for the year. 124 out of 187. He had no free throws in the game against Missouri on Saturday, and that is an oddity. Did not get to the line, but here for the first time tonight, free throw on the way. No good. Rebound Harrison. Andrew Harrison pulls it down. 2-point lead for Georgia. Cats have the balls. We're near the 4-minute mark to go in the game. This Stegman crowd sell out of 10,000 plus, been standing most of the night. Got to stand for 4 more minutes and finish the job. Harrison with the ball, dribbles between the circles. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Now big Dakari Johnson hands off to Euless. Over to Harrison. Harrison going to dribble and drive. Shot fake. Shoots. Banks it in. We're tied. He banked it in from the left side over Kenny Gaines. We're tied at 62. We push and then they shove.
Well, I got to give them credit that time because they did a great job of shaking Kenny Gaines, getting by him, and then getting the shot up.
3:33, clock ticking. Dogs ball. Gaines backs away from the defender. Got a screen from Thornton. Dribbles to his right. Into the lane. Ball got behind him. They took it away. It's loose. There's whistles. Oh, they're going to get Kenny for a foul? Oh, my goodness. They got Gaines for the foul. He was surrounded. They called him for the foul.
And he was falling, too.
That's his 4th. That gets us into a timeout.
Yeah, Pat Adams called him, and he was falling. I don't know how he got him for a foul, but he did.
I guess with his legs. I think I looked at a replay. It may have tripped a Kentucky player. I guess that was a call. Timeout, 3:25 to go. 62 all. We're back to Athens after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Oh, we've hit the home stretch with 3:25 to go. Knotted at 62. This scoring recap brought to you by Regions Bank, the official bank of the SEC, where we're tied at the half at 32. Georgia had a 6-0 run at about the 12:45 mark to take a 2-point lead. Then they went up by 7. Then they eventually went up by 9 on a 13-4 push. And then the Cats answered with a 7-0 run. We're tied at 62. Leading scorers in the ball game are Jurisic with 18 and Aaron Harrison with 15. Let's pause for station identification. Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowdle, Tony Schiavone here in Athens. Campbell Philpott in our IMG Network studios. 62 apiece. What a game.
Oh, unbelievable. This has just been, it's everything we thought this would be. And right now, look, Georgia's got a chance here, 3:20.
Cats have scored 6 of the last 7 points. Now have a chance to take the lead on this possession. Towns with the ball, top of the key. Moves those big feet, turns it over. Oh, almost the ball was loose, but we couldn't get to it. Harrison chased it down near midcourt. We knocked it away from Big Towns, but had nobody to scramble after the loose ball. Cats keep the possession. We're under 3 minutes to go. Harrison to Big Towns in the circle. Pump fake, got Mayton in the air, goes to the bucket. Running layup won't go. He got the rebound, and the putback goes, and we fouled him. Oh, man.
I got to say, they stayed right after it. They went with the big guy right inside, and then once he missed it, boy, he stayed right after it, got it again, and, of course, we're scrambling trying to get a rebound. We foul him on that.
They called it on Thornton. That's his 4th, but Mayton comes out, and Jurisic back in.
Yeah, well, at this point, you need Marcus on the floor. You got under 3 minutes to play. Just going to have to be careful.
Towns has been huge for Kentucky in the second half. Free throw for the three-point play is good. 15 points for Karl Anthony Towns. That's what he had in Lexington against the Dogs earlier this season, about a month ago. He had 13 boards to go with it. Dogs inbound against pressure. Suddenly we're down 3. 65-62. Do we have enough left in the tank to finish this thing? 2:45 to go. Thornton left elbow. Back to the basket. Looking. Now dribbles it once. Hands it off to Frazier. Across the circle. Feeds man on the wing. We go to Gaines. He's guarded by Harrison. Jurisic sets the screen. Gaines to Frazier. Doesn't pull the trigger on the 3. Kenny moves left. Feeds it Jurisic. Pump fake. Oh, and a blocking foul on Harrison underneath as Kenny Gaines collided. Gaines will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Gaines had distributed to Jurisic, who was making a move under the basket to try to get a lay-in. But the foul on Harrison, on Aaron, that's his 3rd. And Gaines to the line for 1-and-1. Kenny's first trip to the line tonight. He's got 11 points in the contest.
And Calipari now, he's putting Towns in the game when they're going down on offense. Like he's got him back in the game now. But when they're on defense, he's going to try to get him out of there so he doesn't get that 5th foul.
Gaines free throw. No good.
Oh, we have been.
Jeez.
It is hurting us at the line here down the stretch.
Dogs 9 of 14 from the foul line. We're down 3. It's getting late. 2:17, 2:16. Cats dribbling out near half court. Towns straight away, top of the key, dribbles it right of the circle, hands off to Ulis, into the paint, gives it to Towns, up and in, good. Cats by 5. They're pulling away with 2:03 to go, and they keep going back to Towns. They're just feeding him. Towns has evolved into a city tonight. 1:56 to go. Here's Mayton on the wing to Thornton, left side to Man. We need points, and we need them badly. Gaines for 3, around the rim and out, no good. Ulis with a rebound, 1:44 to go.
Well, that was a panic shot, wasn't a need for it.
67-62, we're down 5. This thing's slipping through our fingers with 1:33 to go. Cats just dribbling out the clock on the logo, middle of the floor. Andrew Harrison comes back to retrieve the ball. Man guards. Harrison going to drive under the basket. Hand off to Towns. They're going to burn more clock. Ulis dribbles it away. 10 to shoot. They go to Harrison on the wing. Man guarding. Dribbles right, now left, into the lane. Throws it up. Air ball. Bounces out of bounds. It'll be Georgia basketball as the shot clock runs out at the same time. 67-62, 70 seconds to go. Jurisic will inbound. Mann, Frazier, Thornton, and Gaines are 5 on the floor. Cauley-Stein, Ulis, Harrison twins, and Big Towns in for Kentucky. Cats try to go to 30-0. Dogs trying to upset the number 1 team in the land and beat number 1 for the first time in their history. Mann with the ball, skips it to Frazier. 3, right corner. No, it hit the side of the backboard. Rebound, Harrison spins away from the defender, feeds it to his brother. We foul him from behind with Mann. Stop the clock with 49.7. Cats to the line for the 1-and-1. That's the 17th foul on the Dogs. And we're down 5, and they can nail this one, start to nail it shut at the foul line if they start to hit these free throws.
Well, we've had our opportunities here. We failed at the free throw line. First off,
our last field goal, Chuck, came at the 6:02 mark.
Yeah, well, we've
49 seconds left.
Yeah, we've gone cold, no doubt about it. But we've had chances at the line. Charles Mann missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Kenny missed a free throw. We just, you know, at a time when we really needed to step up and knock down the free throw, we couldn't do it.
Cats on an 11-1 run in the last 6 minutes. I guess that's what number 1s do, right? Play a full 40. Here's Harrison, free throw, good. Aaron Harrison. Dozen points for him, 15 for his brother. Free throw up and short, no good. 6-point lead for the Cats. Dogs rebound with Thornton into the front court. 45 seconds to go. Mann going to drive through traffic, but they whistle a foul first on Ulis. He reached in, reached across. That'll put Charles on the line for the 1-and-1. 19th foul on the Wildcats. 44.5 seconds to go.
Yep, chance for the Dogs to score with the clock stop.
Well, you got to have them.
Yeah, you got to hit them. You got to hit both.
We're down 6, 68-62. Thornton out, Gino in. Georgia calls the time. We got 1 left. They have 1 left. Boy, what a game this has been. Georgia's big lead has been 9. It was at the 9-12 mark, but then Kentucky answered quickly. They came right back on a 7-0 run to make it a 1-possession game. And then here in the last 6 minutes, though, they're trying to put us away as Georgia has not hit a field goal in the last 5 minutes and 16, 17 seconds.
Well, I give Georgia credit here. They have fought and fought and fought. We've just missed some shots that we shouldn't have missed. And clearly at the free throw line here down the stretch, you know, we just, you know, let some get away from us. They could have kept the pressure on them, kept us in it.
Certainly not done yet. 44 seconds to go. Clock stopped. 2-possession game. And Mann going to the line for 1-and-1. And Charles is 1 for 2 from the line. 0 for 1 from the line, excuse me. Dogs from the stripe tonight, 9 of 14. Cats 12 of 17. So they're 71%. We're 64%. But from the field, 51% for Georgia, 39 for Kentucky. But we just haven't hit a field goal in almost 6 minutes. Mann, deep breath. Shirt partially untucked. Right-hander, free throw, no good. Rebound, Cauley-Stein. Harrison has it now. We'll try to double-team him. Go give it to Ulis in the backcourt. Over to Harrison, trying to get a 10 count. And we steal the ball at the half court. Oh, stepped out of bounds.
All right, now.
Stepped out. Who had it? Who was touching it? Was it us or Kentucky or Georgia? One of the Harrison boys is covering his face.
It looks like they're giving it to us. Looks like they're giving the basketball.
Pat Adams blew the whistle. 2 guys were going for it. Somebody jumping in the air came down out of bounds, but who had the ball? 2 officials are discussing it. Now they're going to look at the monitor to see whose ball it is. 33.8 seconds to go. Well, this could be a huge decision, and it would be, certainly if it goes in Georgia's favor. give the Dogs the ball with 33.8 seconds and still down 6. Man missed the front end of the 1-and-1. We haven't been to the line a whole lot here in the second half, but we've missed some in key situations. Referee's still looking at the monitor, and what are they going to call? Whose ball is it, Pat? He hasn't indicated. It's Kentucky's ball.
Kentucky's ball.
Apparently our guy had it and touched it out of bounds when he came down. Going to be Cat's ball. He got a 2-possession lead. 33.8 to go. I think Mark Fox trying to plead for more time. Talking with Pat Adams. See if they want to look at the clock.
Yeah, they may want to come back.
They're going to do it.
Yeah.
So now they're going to see if time ticked away from the clock after the whistle was blown. So both teams will retreat to their head coaches. They huddle up. Pat Adams going over to John Calipari now and talking to the Kentucky head coach. So they're not going to look at the monitor. They're not going to change the clock.
And Mark Fox still argued about the time.
33.8 to go. Doug Sermons from across the way saying something to Georgia's head coach. They're not going to look at the monitor. They're not going to add any more time, so it's 33.8. Cats try to inbound the basketball. Harrison right in front of us, and they have to call a time. That's their last one. They couldn't get the ball inbounds, and Aaron Harrison, the 6'6 sophomore, calls a timeout. So they're out of timeouts. They're up 6 with 33.8 to go. They'll have to inbound the ball again.
Well, give the Dogs credit there. They were still defending, still trying to prevent Kentucky from getting the ball inbounds cleanly, forcing them to use that final timeout. Look, still 33.8. It's not totally out of the realm of possibility, but, certainly Georgia needs something very good to happen and very quickly. And now Doug Sermons over, he's trying to explain to Mark Fox why they wouldn't look to put more time back on the clock, which is an explanation I'd like to hear myself.
Now Jim Burr will come over into the conversation. Now Jim is discussing it individually with Mark Fox. I don't think he's going to get any relief here, although Pat Adams is looking at the monitor to our left. While Kentucky called the timeout, he took an opportunity to look at the monitor.
Well, let's see now if they're now they are talking to the. Let's see, they may put some time.
33.8 still on the clock. 68-62, Kentucky leading Georgia. Yeah, they're not going to change anything.
I think what they did do, though, was took another second. If I'm not mistaken, it was at 27. They took it down to 26 on the shot clock.
Cats to inbound. They throw it into Cauley Stein. We foul him as he's catching the inbounds pass. No, that's Towns, excuse me. Karl Anthony Towns fouled by Gaines, I think, and that may be 5 on Kenny. Yep, Kenny Gaines is fouled out of the game. Eccles will come into the ball game. Gaines, the junior from Atlanta, leaves the ball game with 11 points. 9 of those coming in the half. Gino came onto the floor. He was the 6th guy. Now he comes back to the bench. Clock stop, 33.4. Towns at the foul line. 1-1 for Kentucky. Big guy, free throw, good.
I'll tell you what, he's a little bit of a temperamental guy. He's got an attitude on the floor that's not necessarily good for a team, but he is a very talented player. And there have been times this year, I know John Calipari's wanted to,
strangle him.
Get him out of there.
Well, not now. He just hit 2 free throws. And it's 70-62. Dogs have just unfortunately withered down the stretch here. Mann splits the defense, drives and lays it up with 29. 70-64. Cats with the ball. We have to foul. Eccles fouls Andrew Harrison, who's a 78% foul shooter. And is 2 for 2 tonight with 12 points. Towns with 19 points. He's been too much to handle. 7 rebounds, 19 points for the 6'11 freshman from Piscataway, New Jersey. 70-64, Kentucky leads. 27 seconds. They try to add to it with free throws. They missed the 1-and-1. Rebound Thornton. Well, we could try to make it interesting. Frazier almost walked at the half-court line. Feeds man. He doesn't shoot the 3. Cross court to Eccles. He fakes. Moves to his left. He shoots the 3. That's no good. Rebound Jurisic. They strip the ball out of his hands. Out of bounds on the Cats with 15.6. It's still a 6-point lead for Kentucky, 70-64.
You can get it in bounds here. Get it in bounds quickly. Get a shot off.
Eccles to inbound. Looking. Throws it into the corner. Thornton steps behind the line, reluctantly shoots a 3. Side iron, no good. Wow. Towns just, he just elbowed and shouldered Frazier into the corner with 11 seconds. And that's his 5th foul, so he will leave the ball game with 11 seconds. And it'll be JJ going to the foul line for the double bonus. 10th team foul on Kentucky. Towns fouls out of the ball game with 19 points, 17 rebounds. JJ waiting to go to the line for the first time tonight. Frazier on the year, 84%. Did not shoot free throws in the game against Missouri on Saturday.
And see, now this is where I have a problem with the officials. They're allowing Kentucky to go down there and huddle up around Calipari, who's drawing up a play for them. Now, there's not a timeout.
Now they're breaking them up.
Yeah, Pat Adams had to go down there and
he's not really even doing that sternly.
But I mean, my goodness.
Calipari's all the way out of half court. He's still substituting. He's still coaching it.
My goodness.
It was a foul out substitution.
Look, I understand
not a timeout.
I understand they're Kentucky, and I know who they are and how good they are, but let's not bend the rules here for them.
Frazier at the line. Double bonus for the sophomore from Glenville. Free throw, no good. Holy smokes.
It's killed us here down the stretch, the free throw line.
Yep. 70-64, 11.1 seconds remaining. JJ with a second free throw. On the way, missed them both. Rebound Booker. And we foul with Gino with 9 seconds to go. Well, that's going to do it for Kentucky. They're up 6 with 9 to go, and Booker going to the foul line. It will be double bonus for Booker as our best free throw shooter, J.J. Frazier, at 84%. Missed a pair. Dog fans still chanting UGA.
I love that.
Kentucky started to cheer, and we drowned them out a little bit. Here's Booker for the free throw. Good. Cats will go to 30-0. 71-64. Well, we gave them about 35 good minutes of basketball, toe-to-toe, and then they surged ahead. We hadn't hit a field goal until Mann with 29 seconds. We went about 6 minutes without a field goal and missed free throws on top of that. Dogs inbound it. Frazier deep 3, left side. That's an air ball. And Jurisic tries to save it. It's out of bounds on him. Less than a second to go. It's 72-64. Cats will inbound it and win it. What an effort.
Well,
Georgia will put Kessler in. Now the seniors come out. Jurisic and Eccles and Thornton. All of those guys come out of the ball game. That almost got lost in the shuffle here on the last home game.
You're right. Mark Fox shaking their hands and patting them on the rear end. He's frustrated. He knows that Georgia had a great chance to win this one.
Kentucky inbounds it, and then they do win it.
72-64 the final. Wildcats win it by 8. And listen, they're a great, great college basketball team. I'm not sure I've seen one this good in a long, long time. They do a lot of things real well, inside, outside. But you know what? Georgia can play with them, and they showed that tonight. I don't know if Georgia will get an opportunity to play them in the SEC tournament, but I do know this. The Dogs showed tonight that they belong at the big dance.
Well, we had 11 turnovers tonight, and they only had 3, and certainly that was a factor. But in the end, Kentucky put us away in the final 6 minutes to keep their unbeaten streak intact. Number 1, Kentucky, 72, and Georgia, 64. The Bulldogs now 19-10 for the year, 10-7 in the SEC, and Still some work to do this weekend. We got to go on the road to Auburn, Alabama for a 4 o'clock game on Sunday. So you got to start thinking about that at some point here shortly.
Well, yeah, Georgia won't have much time to mourn this loss. They are going to have to get ready for that final SEC game because it's going to be critical to where they're going to be seated come SEC tournament time next week in Nashville. So you're right, Scott. This is not one you're going to be moping about. You got to get ready for Auburn. Auburn, you owe Auburn. Auburn came in here and handed you a big setback on your home floor. You don't want to lose twice to them.
72-64 is our final. Stay tuned for the Regions post-game show. Regions, the official bank of the SEC. That's next here on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG.
Exclusive coverage of Georgia basketball continues with the Regions Bank Locker Room Report. Regions Bank, a proud sponsor of the University of Georgia and the official bank of the SEC. Now back to courtside for continuing live coverage of Georgia basketball.
Back to the Regions post-game show as we didn't quite get to midnight. Kentucky didn't quite turn into a pumpkin. As we saw why they are the number one team in the land. They defeat the Bulldogs tonight 72-64, pulling away down the stretch and winning by a final margin of 8 points. So let's go ahead and select our State Farm student athlete of the game, finding out which player helped the Dogs get to a better state with tonight's player or players of the game, brought to you by State Farm.
Scott, I think tonight, just to salute what they've done for the program, I think Georgia's 3 seniors deserve being co-players of the game. Marcus Thornton, Nemi Juricic, Taylor Eccles. Those young men have represented this university in the highest fashion. They've performed well on the floor, in the classroom. Without question, they should be the co-players of the game.
I agree. That sounds good. As those guys on senior night certainly put it all out on the floor, as Juricic actually finished as Georgia's leading scorer tonight with 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the floor. He didn't hit any threes, 4 of 6 from the foul line. Juricic in 30 minutes leading the Dogs with 18. Marcus Thornton, 14 points and 7 rebounds, had an assist, a block, couple of turnovers, 3 out of 4 from the foul line, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, and 5 of 9 from the field. Taylor Eccles, who got his second career start tonight, his first this season, finished the game with no points, a rebound, was 0 for 2 from the floor, played 6 minutes. Those are the Bulldogs' 3 seniors who played their final home game of the year in the regular season anyway, as the Dogs come up short to number 1 Kentucky, 72-64. Let's give you some of the other numbers. The Dogs shoot 47% for the game, 26 of 55. Kentucky held under 40% by the Dogs' defense. Georgia really did a stellar job, but Kentucky started going to Towns late in the ballgame, last 6 minutes, and he was hard to control. Karl Anthony Towns, leading scorer overall with 19 points. He had 7 rebounds. He was 8 of 12. He shoots those high percentage shots about 2 feet from the basket.
Yeah, those are tough to miss, particularly when you're as talented as he is. And he is a talented player. Again, he needs a little attitude adjustment, and I'm sure that John Calipari will continue to work on that to make sure that young man straightens out. Otherwise, he's going to have trouble at the next level. You can't do some of the things that he does on the floor from an attitude standpoint, like that elbow that he threw. There's just no reason for it to do those kinds of things. You can't do that and expect to stay in the favor of good coaches for very long. I will say this, something that really hurt Georgia tonight, 9 for 18 at the line, while Kentucky was 18 out of 25 at the free throw line. So, they hit as many free throws as we had an opportunity at, and we shot only 50%, including, in the second half there, we were just 2 out of 7 at the free throw line.
Yeah, missing those front ends was certainly costly, as you said, 9 of 18 from the foul line. Georgia just 3 of 17 from the three-point line, so we really pounded the ball inside tonight and had success doing it.
And surprised to see that, because that's hard to do against that Kentucky team, because they are so big and talented inside, and because they do such a good job of defending the rim, defending the basket. But you know what? Georgia was able to get that done tonight. some couple of great moves. Marcus Thornton, Nemi Jurisic, and you know, give Georgia credit. They hung with them, and as you pointed out, 35 minutes, just 5 minutes too long of a game.
Kentucky, the SEC champions in the regular season for the 46th time in their history, and they secured that last Saturday with a lopsided win over Arkansas. It was a little bit tougher on the road here in Athens tonight, but they scrape out a 72-64 victory over Georgia to improve to 30-0 and now 17-0 in the SEC. They'll close out their schedule at home on Saturday against the Florida Gators. The Bulldogs will close out the regular season on the road at Auburn, 4 o'clock Eastern time Saturday afternoon. We'll join you at 3:35 for our coverage of men's basketball. We've got more of the Regions postgame show here in Athens tonight as Kentucky is a winner at Stegman Coliseum. 72-64 the final. Back for more of the Regions postgame show right after this. Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Chuck, Scott, and Tony back here in Athens. Cabell's in our IMG Network studios as the Dogs fall to Kentucky 72-64. Georgia at 19-10 for the year. Got one more mile to go on Saturday when they travel over to Auburn to finish up the regular season. Then it's on to Nashville for the SEC tournament next week. And all of the seeding and that sort of thing will be sorted out on Saturday. As the Cats, well, we know where they're going to be seated. They'll be the top seed, and they will be one of the 4 teams that receives the double bye at 17-0, and they'll close out against Florida at home on Saturday.
Kentucky and Arkansas are locks for the double bye, and then you after that, then it's going to be kind of a question mark as to how the rest shakes out. But certainly, it's going to be a tough slog for the Dogs to get that. But nevertheless, you know what? Georgia, if they win Saturday, they'll have an 11-win SEC season following on the heels of a 12-win SEC season last year. That's 23 conference wins in 2 years. That's pretty good.
Let's check some of the other statistics for you as, we'll hold off on that. And I believe Coach Fox is joining us from the coach's locker room as Kentucky comes away with a 72-64 victory. Mark, thanks for joining us. Let's get your thoughts on the ball game tonight. Well, I hear some rustling back there. Mark, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Just your thoughts on this game. What a great ball game tonight, and very close throughout, and Kentucky able to pull away at the end.
Well, give them credit. They got a great team. I was really proud of our fans. I was proud of our team. We competed, and we gave it all that we had. But, you know, they just forced you to play darn near perfect, and you're never going to do that. We would have loved to have made a few more free throws. We would have loved to have shot the 3 a little better. But you know what? You're just not going to play a perfect game ever. And they got a great team, and our effort today was valiant, but it wasn't good enough.
They don't turn the ball over any. I mean, 3 turnovers. They had nothing at the half. I mean, it's amazing that they don't have any turnovers.
Well, we guarded them in a way that they're probably not going to have turnovers. You know, we structured our defense to try and cut their percentage down, and we did. It was down on below 40. We out-rebounded them. We didn't force a lot of turnovers, but we forced a lot of misses, and we won a rebounding battle. So I think from that standpoint, we did what we needed to do. We just, and I think offensively we played well. But their defense is so good that sometimes you just have to settle for a tough attempt, and tough attempts are never going in.
Coach, can you just address, please, the play of your 2 big seniors and Taylor Eccles, Marcus and Nemi, I thought, did a terrific job tonight. Taylor started for you, gave you some good minutes on the floor tonight.
Well, those kids they're just wonderful young men, and you know, I had tears in my eyes before the game when they were recognized, and I thought they played their tails off. You know, I thought Marcus and Nemi, you know, they came to win their last game, and we gave a great effort. And sometimes when you do that, you know, you got to accept the fact that, you know, some teams are better than you, and Kentucky was just a little bit better than us.
That effort tonight by Georgia probably beats about 95% of the other teams on our schedule. It was outstanding. I mean, the game was back and forth, lead changes and ties, and there was never a double-digit lead, and certainly was great basketball tonight for everybody involved.
Well, it was a great game. I think that we just didn't get to the line enough. We didn't get to the bonus early enough, and give their defense credit for defending without fouling. But we couldn't get the rhythm at the foul line, and then we got there late and would have liked to have made a few more late and really make it interesting, but just didn't get it done.
Now, Mark, with the certainly the magnitude of this one and the build-up for it, how do you get the guys back down to level ground to finish strong on Saturday when you have to go to Auburn?
Well, I'm thankful this was a Tuesday game, because emotionally we're going to need a day to recharge our batteries. We're going to need tomorrow to decompress and regroup and then saddle back up and go on to the next one. And this was a hard fought game. I'm very, very proud of our team. I'm proud of our fans. We just didn't quite get it done.
Tomorrow's an off day?
Tomorrow's an off day.
Okay.
And, Coach, you keep alluding to the fans, but the atmosphere in this building tonight was something that I have not witnessed in the last 2 years, but it was absolutely incredible.
No, this crowd tonight, this is, I spent a year at the University of Kansas, who has Allen Fieldhouse and one of maybe the best home court in the country. And tonight's the first night that since I've been in Georgia where my ears hurt. And that's a credit to our fans. And I thank them all for not just tonight, for coming out all year. We had great crowds all year. And these people dug in with us tonight, and we all fought together. And that's what being a Georgia Bulldog is all about.
Terrific effort tonight, Mark. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Coach Mark Fox with us from the coaches' locker room. Georgia comes up short tonight, unfortunately, 72-64, as Kentucky remains undefeated and doing something. I thought they would be tripped up at some point along the way. I didn't think they'd have a lot of losses, but early in the season, I thought at least they would have one defeat by now, but they don't, and they host Florida on Saturday.
Yeah, and they got the team that ran the table in the conference last year on Saturday to wrap it up in the Florida Gators. But I do give them credit. Listen, John Calipari said before the start of the season that this team was going to be better than last year's, and last year's was pretty darn good. But he's got that ability to run McDonald's All-Americans in and out of the game all day. And sometimes, Scott, it's hard to get that many great players to share the ball, to share minutes on the floor, and he somehow or another, he gets that formula to work for him. And it's working very, very well this year. As I said before, and I'll say again, this is one of the best college basketball teams I've seen in quite some time that Kentucky put on the floor tonight.
Well, certainly Kentucky head and shoulders above the rest of the league, and everybody else fighting for second on down. A&M gets tripped up on the road at Florida tonight, so the Gators are still they're still battling, and they will play at Kentucky on Saturday, so maybe don't throw dirt on the Gators just yet. But I'll tell you that from 2 through 11, 14, or whatever it is in this league is going to be a jumbled mess as they try to sort out the seeding going into the final weekend of basketball.
Well, I'm trying to figure this out, and
that may take a lot longer than we have on the air.
Well, I was going to say, they look, Kentucky and Arkansas, they're locks for the double bye. But now you're looking at A&M with a 6th loss tonight. If they lose a 7th, we hold the tiebreaker with them. And then, of course, Ole Miss won tonight, so they're still
a game in front of Georgia.
A game in front of us, so we would need them to lose again. And LSU, we need LSU to come up short somewhere along the way. Well, actually, let me see. We need LSU to lose 2, don't we? Yeah, we do.
Well, what the Dogs need to do is win on Saturday and let everything else just take care of itself. They were unable to do that tonight. But a terrific effort by Georgia and everyone here associated with the program. Kentucky a winner 72-64. That's going to do it from Stegman Coliseum here in Athens for this portion of the Regions postgame show. We've got more to come, however. For Chuck Dowdle and Tony Schiavone, I'm Scott Howard. Our final score again tonight, Georgia falls to Kentucky 72-64. Stay tuned now for Cabell Philpott. He's in our studio and hosting more of the Regions postgame shows. We continue right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG.
Welcome back to the Regions Bank postgame show. It was a gritty, gutty effort from the Georgia Bulldogs. They come up just short, to top-ranked Kentucky 72-64. The Wildcats improved to 30-0, 17-0 in SEC play. Georgia falls to 10-7 in conference play, 19-10 overall. A team that could be well within 23 victories. You think about the two South Carolina losses, the Auburn loss, the loss to Georgia Tech, but all in all, the Georgia team, a lot of those losses were because of injury, things out of the team's control. They almost take down top-ranked Kentucky tonight, but fall a little short, 72-64. Is all the focus now on the Plains as Georgia will match up with Auburn this Saturday in Auburn, Alabama. Speaking of the Tigers, they fall at Missouri 63-61 tonight. A tough loss for the Tigers. Florida over Texas A&M 66-62. And Ole Miss bests Alabama 82-74. The final from Tuscaloosa. Georgia wouldn't have been as close as they were tonight without the amazing play of Yante Maton. 3 blocks, 7 rebounds. And when you think about that being against the big men of Kentucky, Towns and Cauley-Stein, it's even that much more impressive. Yante Maton, our Chevron Defensive Player of the Game. Everyone wants to avoid traffic jams, but don't forget to avoid engine deposits. Always use the gasoline that cleans. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car. It's funny, Yante, we were talking in the postgame. Yante Maton, both of his best games of the season were against the Kentucky Wildcats, both at Rupp Arena and tonight against Georgia. Yante, our Chevron Defensive Player of the game, 3 blocks, 7 boards for Yante. Final score from Stegman, top-ranked Kentucky 72, Georgia 64. When we return, we'll take a look at the top 25, a battle of epic proportions in the fog. Kansas on the ropes, 40-26 to number 20 West Virginia. Could the Jayhawks rally? We'll tell you right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG. Welcome back to the Regions Bank Locker Room Report. Georgia falls to number 1 Kentucky, 72-64. Kentucky rallies to stay undefeated, 30-0 on the season. A gallant effort by the Georgia Bulldogs. As we take a look at the top 25, number 20 West Virginia up on 9th-ranked Kansas, 40-26 going into the locker room. The sign above Fog Allen Fieldhouse says, "Pay heed, all who enter, beware of the fog." West Virginia certainly needed to read that before they came out of the second half. The Jayhawks holding the Mountaineers to just 19 points in the second period, outscoring West Virginia 33-19. 31 seconds left in overtime. Kansas with the 13-10 lead. It's now 72 in overtime, now 72-69 the overall score, again with 22 seconds left in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. We'll see if the 9th-ranked Jayhawks can hold off number 20 West Virginia. 19th ranked North Carolina just hammers Georgia Tech 81-49 in Atlanta. 10th ranked Maryland up 10 over Rutgers tonight, 60-50 the final score. Number 21 Butler falls at home to Georgetown, 60-54. Number 4 Villanova holds off Creighton's upset bid, 76-72. The final score from Stegman Coliseum, Georgia 64, top-ranked Kentucky 72. When we return, wrap things up on the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG.
This broadcast of University of Georgia basketball is authorized under rights granted to IMG College, LLC by the University of Georgia and is intended solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or commercial use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of IMG College and the University of Georgia is prohibited. The announcers are selected by IMG College and approved by the University of Georgia.
The Dogs also close tonight to ruining the Wildcats streak. They moved to 30-0, however, as they down Georgia 72-64. Well, like we said before, on the Regions Bank postgame report, Dogs at Auburn. They'll close out the regular season. Hard to believe the SEC tournament begins just one short week away from tomorrow, a week from Wednesday. The Wednesday night games will start in Nashville on the evening. Dogs at Auburn, though, to close out the regular season. A 4 p.m. tip will be on the air and around the Bulldog Sports Network from IMG, with pregame coverage starting at 3:35 on Saturday. There are 3 games left for the midweek games, and then all of the teams will wrap up this Saturday. Everybody in action to close out the regular season. For the entire broadcast crew, I'm Cabell Philpott, reminding you once again the final score from Stegman Coliseum: Georgia 64, top-ranked Kentucky 72. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to the Regions Bank Locker Room Report on the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG. Regions Bank, a proud sponsor of the University of Georgia and the official bank of the SEC. Georgia basketball has also been brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. By Chevron. Every day your car takes care of you. Take care of it. Chevron with Techron. Care for your car. Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. BB&T, sharing knowledge for a brighter direction. Member FDIC. And by Georgia Power. Proud to power the Georgia Bulldogs. The executive producer of the Bulldogs Sports Network from IMG is Ben Sutton. Associate producers Joe Potter, Chris Ferris, and Ryan Gribble. Network manager Adam Witten. I'm staff announcer Carl Shannon. Special thanks to the University of Georgia, Athletics Director Greg McGarity, and to the staff and management of Cox Media Group. Georgia basketball is an exclusive presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.